I thought if a serving Chief Justice should descend that low, she's not just a Chief Justice, she's a lawyer of so many years' experience. She served on the bench for over 20 years. She should not be the one setting that bad example. And I had to do that to correct that point. Secondly, she put out there deliberate falsehoods that the public needed to know about. And as a professional, there are two things I owe the public. I mean, I have a duty to the public as a lawyer. There are fourfold duties of a lawyer. One of them includes serving the public. If I realize that a lawyer, serving Chief Justice at the time, and a judge of so many years' experience has gone out to mislead the public, I owe it as a duty to the public to let them know exactly what the truth is. And so 30 minutes right afterwards, on my Facebook wall, I corrected every falsehood that she put out there to the public, both in law and in fact. So that is why I did that. And under that situation, in that situation, I had to weigh between my duty to the public and my ethical commitments to the profession to uphold the general rule of practice that we do not comment on cases that are before or that we are conducting or that are pending. So that's why I did it. I actually commented on that occasion. I violated the rule, but in another context, I didn't, because I also owed the public the responsibility to ensure that they knew exactly what was going on. Okay. There were even instances that certain things happened before the committee. She conducted herself in the most reprehensible
before the committee,
but we all decided not to talk about it. And there were instances when she had to apologize, or her lawyer had to do it.
On her behalf?
On her behalf. In fact, there was a time when her lawyer turned and to try and speak to her, and didn't even know that she had stormed out of the committee's proceedings because she didn't like a ruling delivered by the committee.
So she walked out on the committee?
It wasn't once. So these were things that it wasn't necessary to, and I was surprised that she was one of those wanting these proceedings to be in public. Yeah. If the public had seen some of these things, I'm not sure they would have been happy with it.
But that call, did you support it? The call to make it public?
It was plainly unconstitutional. And you wonder again how that person was in the courts that interpreted our constitution, which spoke in plain language. You are entitled to insist on a reform. But once that reform has not occurred, you should show the public the clear example of following what the law says it should be. And so the law says it should be in camera. And the in camera even starts from the time when the petition is submitted for the removal of either of a justice or of the Chief Justice. And that you don't violate it right from that time. And so how can you be insisting that even the committee's proceedings, which the Constitution says must be in camera, should be made public because it is just you? Should it be done for everybody or just you? And so these are things that didn't even sell her very well to the public, because it showed a person who thought she was different from the people she was, appointed to serve. Previous justice of the Superior Court, I think it's Justice SL also, in which Doche made a call on the Rules of Court Committee to enact rules for Article 146 proceedings. She became Chief Justice during that period. She spent her time making rules that were plainly unconstitutional and forgot Article 146. In any event, there is nothing wrong with Article 146. It's not just once, or this is not the first time I've been involved in Article 146 proceedings. In the Opong and Attorney General matter, which was about the first case brought under Article 146, I was a very junior lawyer involved in it together with Ambrose Derry and Samuel Kujo and co. It was followed. And nobody raised issues about due process and all of that. Before the proceedings start, you are told and you are engaged about the procedure that will be adopted. I was involved directly as counsel, lead counsel in Charlotte Assay's matter. We were told what the procedures were there were plain violations that were even recently now admitted of Charlotte Osei's rights. And nobody said anything. In fact, the person who was Chief Justice at the time came to testify for the present Chief Justice. In fact, she wrote a decision in which she admitted that the committee of the kind before which the Chief Justice appeared is ad hoc in nature, and that they can determine their own proceedings.
I talk about
Sophia Akuffo is my mother in practice, godmother in practice. Okay. That the first day she saw me, I was very young at the bar, I won't tell you for some reason. She called me into a chamber to say, look, a young man, for how long have you been practicing? Let's not go there. So she's my mother in practice, and I acknowledge it. And at this point, she's speaking like anybody. It holds no weight. And she says it was handled like a treason trial. How is a treason trial handled? By a number of judges. Is that what she saw there? No. There were clear-cut rules we were all supposed to obey, and we were all engaged.
Just the trial wasn't fair.
Why was it unfair? If you say it's unfair, tell us why it was unfair. Is it that she wasn't served with any processes, she was not allowed to use her lawyers, or things were done ex parte? No. She sat there. We called our witnesses, from her own employees. They came and testified regarding what she did. A registrar from Kaswa, I'm saying that the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana is so concerned about matters as low as matters pending before a district court in Kaswa, saying that she can call the registrar and tell the registrar that, look, a step you have taken to execute the judgment of the court should be reversed. And the Chief Justice answers by saying she doesn't even remember. The sad thing is that this Chief Justice has been told the suit number. She's been told the court in which it occurred. She's been told the title of the case. Couldn't she just have called to find out what case is this? Because I'm alleged to have interfered in it. At what point in time did I? She said she doesn't remember. Even when she entered the witness box and the registrar came to testify, to say, I appeared before you, and these were the interactions we had. In fact, there was a gentleman called Bannerman who was involved in the proceedings. I don't know where he is now. She entered the box and said, oh yes, I even found the Bannerman. But the Bannerman said that he doesn't remember. Why didn't you just bring Bannerman to come and testify? So these were things that were, I mean, when somebody says, oh, there were opaque trials, in the course of those proceedings, now that this, it is over, if push gets to shove, we will publish some of those proceedings in order for you to see how it cannot be true for anybody to say it was not fair, because the Chief Justice herself on oath said the committee had been very indulgent of her. And let me tell you that.
As in the Chief Justice who just been removed.
Oh yes, she testified on oath that she must confess they've been very indulgent. After you tell the public that they were very indulgent of her. It is recorded. In fact, I made it a subject of my comment in my address, final address to the committee. So we don't want to talk about these things. So she served the country as Chief Justice, whether we were happy with it or not.
But she told us, the public, that, first of all, as far as the fairness of the trial is concerned, of the hearings are concerned, that in one case, some of her gadgets were not allowed in. Her lawyers, were inhibited compared to other lawyers like yourselves. So, you listen to that. And that all borders down to, one, either she was being intimidated, so that, of course, she loses her composure, and her and the lawyers. She creates impression and speaks and articulates views about a process that was deliberately crafted to disadvantage her. And I guess it's possibly what Sophia Akuffo was picking up on when she says it was not a fair trial.
So this has nothing to do with the trial. But first of all, apart from just saying, okay, your lawyers were not allowed to use their gadgets and all of that, these were conversations we all had.
You agreed?
Oh, because when the committee started, we needed to let them understand that, look, we needed our gadgets. And we had a team whose role, and we divided our roles. Everybody had a specific thing to do. There's an interview that I don't want to refer to. Somebody said I was writing profusely when the proceedings were going on. and couldn't tell what I was writing, but was worried that I was writing. That too almost would amount to a violation. But let me go back a little bit. What they talked about affected all of us. We were all screened. There were ladies there was a lady on my team who was screened as she went in. And what she calls a search, it's not true. It's that thing that they will place on you. There was a lady specifically assigned to screen ladies. So no man searched her, or she wasn't subjected to anything that no other person was subjected to. Her lawyers were subjected to the same thing that we were subjected to. So in the course of the proceedings, I said that, look, you know, I need to use my gadgets. And everybody who knows me knows that when I enter the courtroom or wherever I am, I use those gadgets. So as my senior, Mr. Chachuchikata, is cross-examining, I'm busy taking notes because every lawyer knows that even in the course of court proceedings, sometimes you're not allowed too much time to decide when you want to file your addresses. They had 4 lawyers just like us. Nobody was doing that. I was doing it. If we were able to file our address within time, it's because we weren't taking chances. And we didn't even like the time that they gave us, because if I had enough time to write that address, it would have been a much better than address than what I put in. Then I didn't see them writing anything. So any of them could have written. Any of them could have done anything that they wanted to do. Nobody restricted anything. You just heard all of this they are saying. They are all show us how it violated your right to a fair hearing under Article 19. That is all you should show. That you weren't given facilities to represent yourself. You are allowed to come in with your lawyers. Adjournments you took. When we were conducting our case, the pressure that the committee put on us, we still accepted. And we tried our best to do it according to the committee's...
You've heard a lawyer say, and this is Ayuko to say, that even in filing the address, that the time they're ready to file, that morning is when they had the decision of the president.
I've heard him say that. You see, I never wanted to comment on anything that Ayuko said, but you are not a lawyer. The committee gives you a date to file and gives us the same date to file. We managed to file on that date. The committee gave this, rendered its report, I think, a week after. So between the time that you said, the committee set for us to file and the time that it rendered its decision, you did not file yours. So the committee should be sitting and waiting for your sweet time to decide when you want to file? Or did you have an agreement with them that they should not present their reports, but wait for you to file? So I don't understand all of this point. There's a dead time, set time for you to file. You didn't file. The committee did not give you any assurance that they will be waiting for you. Did you tell them that you'll be filing on that Monday? He doesn't say that. He said he filed when he wanted to file, or when he was ready to file. But it doesn't happen anywhere, even in regular proceedings in the courtroom. If the court says it's time, you must obey. The Chief Justice knows that. And in your intro, when you're talking about the Speaker's case,
yeah,
was the Speaker giving that such latitude and luxury? He wasn't even served. He had an injunction slapped against him pending the final determination of the matter in an ex parte situation. How is that person now complaining about injustice and lack of fairness and all of that?
Well, she was a Chief Justice of the...
Oh, yes. So when you are Chief Justice, you are entitled to do what you like. When you are given a taste of the right medicine, you gave the wrong medicine and somebody took it. When you are given a taste of your own medicine, then it's unfairness.
Your Excellency, the Honorable Deacon Thomas Mitchell, Prime Minister of the State of Grenada, Your Excellency, Professor Jane Nano Opoku-Agyeman, unfortunately she's not with us, the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament, the Honorable Joseph Andal, Minister for Foreign Affairs, Trade, Export Development of Grenada, the Honorable Samuel Okudzeto-Ablaka, Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Ghana, Honorable Ministers, Members of Parliament, the Honorable Chief of Staff, members of the Diplomatic Corps, traditional leaders, religious leaders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure and a distinct honor for me to welcome you, Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, along with your esteemed delegation to Ghana. On behalf of the government and the good people of Ghana, I extend warm fraternal greetings and sincere appreciation for your visit. Your presence here signifies a vital milestone in the expanding friendship between Ghana and Grenada. We are pleased to host you in Accra at a time when both nations are striving to strengthen cooperation founded on our shared history, mutual respect, and common vision for prosperity and dignity of our people. Your Excellency, Ghana and Grenada share a profound bond that goes beyond geography. Our people are linked by memories of a shared past and the strength of a common spirit towards the future. Although oceans may separate us, our ancestors' struggles for freedom and dignity have united us throughout history. The transatlantic slave trade may have sought to erase our connections and our bonds, but it could not destroy our collective identity or our resilience. The descendants of African and the Caribbean stand united, committed to turning our shared pain into a shared purpose. Since establishing diplomatic relations, our cooperation has steadily increased, guided by our shared commitment to democracy, peace, and human rights. In recent years, that relationship has broadened to include new areas such as trade, education, culture, and political consultations. Our two nations have made notable progress in strengthening people-to-people contacts. The visa waiver agreement signed in 2024 for holders of diplomatic service, special and ordinary passports is an important step towards improving mobility and cooperation. While we acknowledge that some challenges still exist for travelers, I wish to assure you, Prime Minister, that Ghana remains committed to working with your government to ensure the full and smooth implementation of this important accord. In the same year, we also signed a Memorandum of Understanding on Cooperation in Culture, Trade, and Education, as well as another on political consultations, creating a structured platform for dialogue and coordination on key areas of mutual interest. I'm pleased that just yesterday our Foreign Minister, the Honorable Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, and Honorable Joseph Andal, Foreign Minister of Grenada, co-chaired the inaugural session of the Ghana-Grenada political consultations. I'm confident that this mechanism will produce practical outcomes that deepen political, economic, and cultural engagements between our two nations. Distinguished guests, the relationship between Ghana and Grenada exemplifies an excellent model of South-South cooperation. During my productive discussions with Prime Minister Mitchell earlier today, we mutually agreed on the importance of expanding our collaboration in key areas, particularly those that utilize our comparative advantages for mutual growth. In the health sector, Grenada's interest in recruiting Ghanaian nurses and allied health professionals presents a valuable opportunity for structured collaboration between our two countries. Ghanaian health workers have gained international recognition for their professionalism and their compassion. And we're keen to explore arrangements that address both our national needs and Grenada's health priorities. In education,
Edeba TV XYZ so baby a wa wo hwe baby a wa wo tie power 97.9 FM so memo akwaba Edeba Inside Politics a Tuesday's edition Idia me this year Nicholas ya usios and will to me Afro McKin Nicholas. And that way Tuesday, 21st of October 2025 year of our Lord. We're here time now. About a 3:33 pepe in the studios of TVXYZ and a power 97.9 FM. And the free Sambri Akwasi a year 5:55 a guest na me pacho bebre. Mo here so sutin na ye de ma wunim say Ghana's biggest a year social political show ever. And for baby obi a kan ho asem inside politics. Na ye de brewi. And baby obi ano nyabotre tina wo TV echi. Hwe TVXYZ. Nyabotre tina radio echi. Na tie power 97.9 FM. Fisa hana Ghana kasa. Hana Ghana tie. Hana 70 na ye de bro. Enti de etena no so wutie ya. Na make house stream live wo Facebook. Obetumi akọ power 979 FM. Power 979 FM. Sa so na TVXYZ Ghana. TVXYZ Ghana. Enti say ye Facebook, ye TikTok. Nina no obetumi ahwe tie dwumade bi also. Ye kwa YouTuber, XYZ Broadcasting. YouTube ye XYZ Broadcasting. No so obetumi ahwe dwumade etie bi. Kai say ye were free to air. Free to air. Until free to air over to me ahwe bi was so digital television. Ahuni na free to air when sabe to me aka TVXYZ to so over to me ahwe bi kama pa na bibia etumi akọ enkansa. Sa so na satellite TV ye ka multi TV digibox me pacho over to me ahwe TVXYZ to so uko audio channel no so power 97.9 FM no so be to me etiebi na bibia etumi akonkan na bibia etumi adedinsa enti ewie de ye kwa ni ma na sa na chemom ma fast da mo do emfema me production team mo bo ma chi do ma me dwumadi bro Mr. Kelvin Asante executive producer saso na Mr. Raf Jampo TV director and sana me be hu Elder Peter Cranting or Elder dear you on so ho ya so ye reho biema sound ye be hu Emmanuel Nete and sana Mr. Emmanuel Kisi abaso so ho na you ashamani a ye ni sika on so ho me ba TV studios be hu Elvis akoliva ba until say na fun na totontom sa me hu say Elvis live na ede to me say nche me so makobi pa yo asaso na edi so ha edi so ha nti edi etene no ekukudami na wa ha ye hwe obi a wosiesie me ma mete yirare na ahonfe egwarme a me nua ba Lizzie Elizabeth Tego nti de etene no ekukudami na combine anaka boom na me ne omu ina no ahye dwumadi ma obi a ya ne part ma bibia etumi akonka ye be servo na ya somo with it Tuesday's edition of Inside Politics. Once again they're from Nicholas ya owusi osen obetumi afro McKin Nicholas tumi mo bibia ha kai se embo 5:55 ye mfa dwumadi enkwawie enti de etene no na asam kakra aba ye nuanom amwo kantamanto ya na ntie say jasa ato kantamanto na kantamanto yesre nuanom amoton ade ho ha adwene bibi sa ba ha ye nyina sa na na ha ban no so pa ma ekoso no na we na Accra Metropolitan Assembly Penny Odano Honorable Michael Nikpapo Alote ono no the mayor of Accra odi atudwa asesesiano assembly be enforce say obi abetumi nya fire extinguisher wo na petem obi abetumi nya fire extinguisher wo no source him enti nuanom amwo kantamanto mesi na ya rehosem but fire extinguisher many mayor Accra mayor ya adwene yie pa so bia etumi nya bi ama bibie ni afefefe na edi eguso kama pa enti se wo kantamanto ne importem menkai mo yaw but I say mutu put niema be in place ama bibi sa ba mutumi aso ano because akwa say akwa assessment bi ebete akwa assessment bi ebete say kantamanto ija to ya rehosem ufa ho hwe dwedifo ha obi su ne ade a ha adwene but mo so no say mo de niema etutu in place kama na bibi sa ba mutumi aso ano because say shops no patano say fire extinguishers woma tebigidi say mesi yensi meboa chensi enti niema bi ho a me feel say or say most are more a cantamanto mube to anamo na bibie to me a conkai yanema why ye did dra memendane mekaka hunti so bibi sasi wo cantamanto a hard bini anti yesremo asama akra mayo etumi aka ora Michael Nick Papo Alote or the atu dwane di efua no so pa say or say assembly ni hwe no mo enforce say at least and your crash shops be abenya a fire extinguishers no bonye den obenya bi na motumi bibia ni a na mabo egu so fe na ya asom dreamily na bibia etumi akonkan nti say asama mayo aka no yen na yensom yenuanom amowo bekantamanto ne mpotem munsome na yemboa na bibia entumi enkonkan na bibia entumi ndedin fi se eno na yehwehwe na bibia etumi adedin ede amaye enti bibia wo bia no ede eteno na meka say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama make us say we copy him with the Western region the Western regional capital me pacho bebre all kakate sword war a dualization of Takoradi Cape Coast Road. We say a quining yet, ya tie you say quine ye aware a free Cape Coast say call a Takoradi a quining yet, a quining ye cra a check. See people ye quine says and one am swa bones a quine to tune boo Nancy I may pay which my free buy norms say came one quine you. Mamma Takranam so sa kakra. Sana ye kenina and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. What yesu nti moi mo sekendi takrade ba ogwai akotododo ba mugono to ano akọ sekendi takra ye kwan na che ye nim se CP4 na be ye kwan no ache over 30 years ni on say etutututu ni ade ko tini bia wawai nti ade ete no na we bedru takrade safely His Excellency John Dramani Mahama okono so hu ya the MP de ma Escado Keten Dr. Grace Ayensu Dankwa ono na oko hage His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Western Regional Minister ono so na die nim obobo mpenifo ahoro omo Western Region odi omu checha me hu me MP Fifi Bokman Muzama Fifi Bokman ono na owo no me MP no kwesimintim enti amen feast ono so no jan ho osre no homeboy Nicholas Amankwa enti we ni mpanimfo ni bia omo Western Region kwa omudi makotene a make say we sa enti de etene no enti wa say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama dama mekan no Takoradi Cape Coast Road no ade a okokate sword duralization into TVXYZ the bebro ma wosu ahwe bi na wehuma ekoso kama pa na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama enye sekendi Takoradi ba Cape Coast kwan ne pe so wonim apemanyim nkwanta hoso His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wakwakwa inspect apemanyim nkwanta hospital site to apemanyim nkwanta na also omodi hu nkomo ne meka ho say mo amwo apemanim na nkwanta ni mo ka hon o say ye ya ta sabdaw nti His Excellency John Dramani Mahama watumi akwa inspect site no ma efe ye papa yankwe na yankwe sa aka samfonyi no na yentie ma ekọ fi say aban papa na aba no
2023 October abra yesika asem yedru emre a yeka say yeka yede no yentimi ntwe biom no na se odeka na oka se untimi ntwe biom a ene obi amọ obusia biom enti na bosia yaje se yede ye enjuba bebre a hospital yi ka ho banks a omu yi sika editwa contractor no ema otimi ye ejuma no ena omu se se muntimi ntwe biom ne biom ene sika aka no ye release sa sika no mamu ena sika ne bi kokae eno ene ma ejuma no se ejinaye enso nyame ncha de ye debt exchange no ewie ena nya ye friend official creditor committee ye buy ye no so atranse amanti ase aye ejuma enti eno adru agreement on official creditor committee no enti enjuma ehye sa projects na se no oma makwan se yensan se ase enti yensan na ejuma no ebe gina no na contractor no the certificates ni bi aba enti Ministry of Finance asha share certificates no na omoni omo atrase no mahu sika ye de omoka na omonsa emra metro ejuma no so nti ye hwe se nyame ya doma ebia within the next 18 months na ekye se ye ba ne abebia no fe na enti ase amenya ne se ejuma no dru 27%. If you say foundation and ayedin into ekobase omo peja adan na eno de be content into 27% completion into Mr. Nyame say within the next 1.5 years ye baha na eche say nije nko na yenim say abra ye call campaign bebie ni ho a me call ya obia enije na kwan sem Titiri Western Region enti nana wenu hwam ensema okan nyina ayade a menim dada enti na afi ye budget ye bibia a friend big push I just say ye hwe akwan akese ye friend arterial roads main highways just say ye de yesika ehyimu na yesiesie sa akwan no na yesiesie akwan akese arterial roads ni bia na akwan a join sa akwan akese no na ehon so ya behwe ho enti big push no ya shase Ghana henyi na region bie ni ho a yetwa eja obi nya ne chefa next year so Minister of Finance wa shebo say 30 billion cedis ye de be ya akwan enti nana ye cha ye ntwa wonja kasa wake me ogide se afise sebre ye be ba no na wetimi a kire 1 or 2 roads and not 3 roads ya sha say ye if you say we big push no mpofi ho a ye what districts road improvement program ye municipality ni district bia afi bia about 10 kilometers of roads. Enti mene o ka say municipality say yet 10 kilometers of roads a 5-year program. Enti at least a bedroom 5 years no now 50 kilometers of roads there na yeah. Enti quota na na ka say municipality mu bi da nyame adom quota nbeba anhwe ya na asphalt nso e di eti enti we de yan kan bebre e ba se ye behwe send ejuma no bebi edru na ye ne contractors no e di nkomo kakra na ye ne omo ayen hyehye a ye betu etu omo sika ni bi na omo atan betoa ejuma no so enti medam ase na masre nyame hira ama ya hemfo ne ya manfo nyina nyame adom nso economy no ye kuramu ye baaye na yesika sema sep kra enso nyame adom ya somo kakra ade a friend reset agenda ye de akọ economy no ho ama nyame ncha de emse ye hu ye ho ano na nyame adom a juma beba na ye nkoda ye mabunu obia so enya akwenya edwuma bi etimia hwe no ho na wetimi hwe na yere ne ma medamase
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama we ko PM of the Western Region apebenim enkwanta hospital site ho say edwuma te sen enema kwasɛn anti say nana ma hene so ne ahemfo mo apebenim mpetum ho akasa bebre His Excellency John Dramani Mahama si adeoyo wajiatum na wakasa obey bibia pepepe so hwe akira contractors o mu bu adwuma abrofo nete ho no ono de atum no say big push no kwan no obeye ene hospital dwumadi omudi no omudi na the good people of Apemenim nkwanta ne mpotamina so omanya baby apomuden yare bi ba ometumi akọ na omode omuhu akọhwe na bibia etumi akọ enkan sa na yekoye nima make us say the Deputy Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dr. Justice ASI, or the Atudra, na washechim efano Attorney General's office, omatre letter multiple times at the office of the Special Prosecutor, Omo requested the access to the docket of Keno Furiata. Of US so beba na yenine din komo ane meka ho but be see ndo matwen adene mba when I back front sa nsem no yehu ba eko say I am OSP nankasa den nsem aba echi defense docket so bra na Attorney General monhwe no monduduma aye bibi e wo ho but na bekosem sa nsem no ho no so ye be chem na yehu time we di we call ye we di we buy yes aye radio mobetumi yi wo television so na ya chechim na ya hwe nti so obehwa early June 2025 OSP ni secure a red notice from Interpol for Ora and I say Ora Keno Furiata 2nd June 2025 OSP formally trigger extraction of Keno Furiata and Sensem at the buyer the processing through the chief of staff at the presidency papa Julius Debra that's hini na omo fast so ma assembly the chief of staff transmitted extradition request in the command Attorney General the office na the central authority under the mutual legal assistance framework and so omutu hanamo on the 3rd of June na ye call 13 June 2025 Attorney General Troy the command the special prosecutor in the office to confirm receipt of request agent on the requester no person whom assembly call 2 OSP officers omo join prosecution no team no so metu dubedie no han anamon a copy of the investigation docket no so dia no so omuguso ana omo hwe anim so metu sa adie no anamon weni na akọ so 13th of June 2025 yakwa 20th June 2025 OSP reply or provided the names and contact of its 2 nominees what you almost saw monkonko bom no munye adwuma no na an update OSP no still no organizing case in the docket and after the search and seizure operation of SML office on June 10th 2025 no and some how see ebano between OSP and Attorney General hunsam na yeken and September 2025 Attorney General of follow up or requested docketing again na besin de docketi eba nemba nti emo entrem ni bi na ye trem no na a leak appeared on social media say official communication between OSP no and the chief of staff and San Attorney General so by on make us say leaky social media OSP ni deny responsibility for the leak and reaffirm that it was not frustrating of the extradition process. Sana onono oka enti sa leak na beda social media na ye ka ho asem no no chemu o deny say onyo no onim hwe ene meka ho so OSP yenim say meko ben na wonim ho bibi enti de tene no we de masan sisu biom yaka ho asem awie enti story na nkasa no de tene no wo hwa Dama Midi Kankan, the Deputy Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, Dr. Justice Srai, or the Atudra say, Ayadia, but Mika say, OSP no am say waboni trimpo. One or the asemi by you, OSP. What the asemi aba, we are Keno Furiata Ghana for in Boise. A question so print home. So money buy into a person you're the Ghana for your dream dear grow. But Attorney General say yentem Dr. Dominic Anyeni on the deputy Dr. Justice ASI on the abase multiple of times at their court letters their court office of special prosecutor requested but anya dia wetumi afọ fail nsɛm a ɔmo bisa no fa owura Kenoforiata ho no ɛnya ade a wetumi aka ho asɛm owura Kenoforiata nam ɛyɛ America memo ne ne eyi akyea OSP ne de no office ne de Kennedy Japan be say agaw enti agaw be say no or say because office ne ehun fa so bi e wo ho ebe ya mpanifo nhwe na yensen nyimfi ho na yema Dr. Anyani mu ankasa nhwe case no no muntu anamo because Ghana fo atwen ache OSP beka Kenoforiata say you need the chisa we share Ghana ni bi abro penny o ken your friends Kenoforiata nti ema wetumi anante wo hwe SML deal course wo hwe niema horo a owura Kenoforiata de diban ya ha adwene ono ankasa kra ne ni MPs sorry ti say ade a Kenoforiata bra no wo so ombo adwuma ohum oye na no wofa so munya abotre na ye ne ye friend say mpanifo IMF we be yi no still now we no nyi no last minute bibi age egu agro no petanye so no na na nado danko akufo ado be ka che so memo akofie kakra nso no no ana san hye etiri oye wenti owura Kenoforiata dream ne instem bi odi oman no here so say ya twene didi because letter cry OSP no o che so nya ya obekire mu no minim say by now the ose papa no ho tumi to no no ba say si ankofo hu no we US onam no yi achia ko eya ade a oman no say one city cry na afọ ankofo so say ade ba ko a Ghana fo enya mu gidie na yetumi to abama His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ni NDC amayoko Ghana fo say how is it to abama na echo almost 57% na kire say ye hwe sika MPP aban edi na nado danko Akufo-Addo Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia appointees afọ mo nsase edi o ma sika say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama or this kind of man cry ye okay because Ghana ha no menu na di dance here say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wa ye bi pen between 2013-2016 yeni medwuma odiye enti saade ne de o say to be two anamo na bibia to be konka enti owura Kenoforiata say Attorney General na hwe no ngina ontu anamo no OSP ne de moye no akoye agaw na New Patriotic Party NPP esia enti ma yanko emom yanko ne yanko tie Director of Strategy Research and Communication or OSP office no no so the response the aba efano asama Dr. Justice side two dwan Deputy Attorney General and Minister of Justice na some the two dwan yanko tie orembre efano responder or the OSP office the by.
I don't think that there is any problem between the OSP and the Attorney General's office. Except those who do not understand. The issue really is also not about a docket. The OSP, as you are aware, has been working tirelessly to bring Mr. Ofori-Atta back to Ghana. And it will not do anything that will frustrate all the months of the work that it has put together. When the OSP started this work, many people had very little faith that we could even put him on red notice. And if you take a look at the timelines and the things we have done, you will notice that we have done a very diligent work in ensuring that Mr. Ofori-Atta is brought back to Ghana. And the OSP is not going to allow this process to be politicized because Ghana has one shot to bring back Mr. Ofori-Atta. And if we allow it to be politicized, our chances diminishes. And I'll tell you why. Two major things. The OSP is supposed to give to the Attorney General documents that the Attorney General can use to process the extradition. Now, this document is what people are referring to as docket. The OSP has not refused to give those information to the Attorney General. In fact, just September, although that information was not leaked, the Attorney General had written to the OSP in asking for even an incomplete investigation report. And the OSP has assured that it is boarding up the rest of the information, and as soon as it's ready, it will transmit to the Attorney General. So really, there is no issue. Unless you do not know the documents that are required for extradition. Let me quickly go through some of them. One of the important documents you need for extradition is the arrest warrant. The OSP has the arrest warrant. And if you remember, I know that the media has not been covering it. Since we got the arrest warrant against Mr. Ofori-Atta, he has sued the OSP about 7-8 times. And the OSP since June has been battling these lawsuits alone in court, just to ensure that the arrest warrants remain valid. The next thing you will need is an Interpol red notice. The OSP worked tirelessly and secured the Interpol red notice. And the red notice is alive as we speak. Even as I talk to you, Interpol International has written to us to justify why it should continue to remain on it. And that is routine. Almost every 6 months, you have to justify why a person should continue to be on red notice. And people who don't know the meaning of red notice, it means that the OSP has effectively restricted the movement of Mr. Ofori-Atta. Hitherto, we have records that shows that he was crisscrossing America and London. But currently, as we speak, he cannot do that. And we know that he's currently somewhere in Maryland, Virginia, Washington. And so those who think nothing has been done, a lot has been done to even restrict his movement to one particular place. Now, there are other things you need to add to the extradition briefing, which is the offenses you have charged the person with. And then there's something called constitutionality. You need to justify whether the offenses here are the same as there. And then the most important thing that the American court will look at is the issue of the political character, political bias, witch hunt. You need to justify that the person is not being persecuted but being prosecuted for stated offense. It has nothing to do with politics. That is the most important one. And these other ones is the AG that will be justifying it. What we need to provide to the AG, we have majority of them. The only thing left is the fact that we said that we have discovered a lot, volumes of documents that we were analyzing to board up our charges against Mr. Ofori-Atta. And so we will finish with it. And these documents were the documents we retrieved from SML's office when we searched the SML's office. And we're saying that we need time to analyze these documents and add it. So it's not like I said, we have not given the Attorney General any briefing or any information that he needs to do it. We are only adding to it. Executed but being prosecuted for stated offense. It has nothing to do with politics. That is the most important one. And these other ones is the AG that will be justifying it. What we need to provide to the AG, we have majority of them. The only thing left is the fact that we said that we have discovered a lot, volumes of documents that we were analyzing to board up our charges against Mr. Ofori-Atta. And so we will finish with it. And these documents were the documents we retrieved from SML's office when we said.
Enti ora sameda akon na yete nenkano ora sameda akon woko AOSP officer strategist research and communication or the office of the special prosecutor ono na yete nenkano yes sign e de ani atre Ghana's parliament says here yenyane ntie se and never be cause yenkonko tie bimbra yeba yebeto inside politics jumedie no so.
Reforming attitudes there must engage our attention. The reset agenda must permeate our public services. Mr. Speaker, the story of Ghana is now being told in a positive light on all international platforms. The reset agenda of President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC party is on course. This House will sustain the agenda in this meeting. We will demand accountability for past acts of corruption and abuse of power and gross mismanagement of the economy. We will demand the full implementation of the report of Operation Recover or Loot. Right, Honourable Speaker, my team has engaged the various sector ministers with a to understand the weight of government during this meeting. If they all receive If they all receive the expected cabinet approvals, we could have a heavy legislative program in addition to the usual very involving consideration of the national budget. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Health has planned to seek approval for some legislation, including regulations, the National Health Insurance Regulations, National Vaccine Institute Regulation, Ghana Medical Trust Fund Regulation, Allied Health Professional Council Regulations, and others. The Minister of Education will seek the passage of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, change of university names. Mr. Speaker, there's been a cabinet directive to change the names of all the universities that were changed to individuals back to the names that they were given. A bill we brought to this House to change and reverse all the changes of the names of the universities. Mr. Speaker, the ministry will also seek this House approval for the passage of the Ghana Book Development Council Bill, the University of Engineering and Agricultural Science Bonsu Bill, Institute of Procurement and Supply Chain Bill, the National Teaching Council Regulations, National Council for Curriculum and Assessment Regulations, National Schools Inspectorate Authority Regulations, Ghana Tertiary Education Commission Regulations, and others. The Ministry of Transport will seek passage of the Road Traffic Amendment Bill, the Road Traffic Amendment Regulations, Road Traffic Amendment, Ghana Shippers Authority Regulations, Ghana Ports and Harbors Authority Bill, ratification of the African Road Safety Charter, and others. The Minister of Interior will seek the expeditious passage of the Security Intelligence Agencies Bill, the Immigration Service Amendment Regulations, Prison Service Parole Regulations, and the Gaming Regulations, Diaspora Birthright Certificate Bill, Community Service Bill, and the Extradition Bill. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources will want us to ratify a number of mining leases. These will include the ratification of mining leases in respect of Persos Mining Ghana Limited, Clean Jobs Ghana Limited, TMC Limited, GM Group of Companies Limited, Golden Star Wasa Limited, Zagog Gold Limited, Gadriato Group of Companies Limited, Maripoma Mining Services Limited, and Bari DV Ghana Limited. They also program to bring before us the Wildlife Resource Management Regulations 2025. Right, Honorable Speaker, let me at this juncture mention that whilst we were away on recess, the issue of illegal mining, referred to as Galamsey, became very topical. His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama spoke to the nation in a media interaction and outlined progress made so far for the multiple approaches of government to deal with this matter. During this meeting, this House will build the needed collaboration and coalition of MPs to join the fight against Galamsey. After all, it is happening in our various constituencies and by our various constituents. We perhaps hold the key to solving this problem. In this regard, we will demand full accountability of the Minerals Commission and the Environmental Protection Agencies in the way mining prospecting licenses are awarded and leases issued and the environmental implications thereof. Right, Honorable Speaker, the Minister of Foreign Affairs has some international agreements which we will be called upon to consider for ratification. Some are the visa waiver agreements between the government of the Republic of Ghana and the Republic of Algeria, Republic of Angola, and the Republic of Serbia. Headquarters agreement between the government of the Republic of Ghana and Afrobarometer, and the presidential initiative to offer 1,000 tertiary scholarships to ECOWAS citizens, waiver of import duties and other taxes on vehicles for foreign service officers and analogous appointees, establishment and implementation of Ghana Diaspora Bond Program, and membership in the Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa Alliance. That's the BRICS Alliance. Let me mention that the issue of the need for parliamentary ratification of the agreement with the United States to receive ECOWAS citizens being repatriated back to the sub-region has been widely debated. If the appropriate legal advice to this House is that we should ratify it, we will consider so. But I can say with authority that the majority approves of the arrangement and highly commends government for negotiating the removal of the U.S. visa restrictions on Ghanaians. Given our business and social ties with America, these restrictions were going to be extremely burdensome to many Ghanaian businesses and families. The Minister of Land, Local Government, Chieftaincy, and Religious Affairs will seek the passage of the Local Governance Amendment Bill, Coastal Development Authority Repeal Bill, Middle Belt Development Authority Repeal Bill, And the program that the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition include the ratification and passage of National Petroleum Authority Bill, ratification of petroleum agreements in respect of Block GHB01 involving the Government of Ghana, GNPC, GNPC Exploco, and TriStar Upstream Oil and Gas Limited. They will also seek the passage of the Nuclear Power Corporation Bill and then the Renewable Energy Authority Bill and the establishment of the Ghana Energy Regulatory Commission. They will also seek the passage of the West African Gas Pipeline Amendment Regulations. The Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection will seek the passage of the Affirmative Action Gender Equity Regulations 2025 and the Social Protection Regulations. The Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice has a tall legislative program. They include the passage of the Tribunals Bill, the Legal Education Reform Bill, the Conduct of Public Officers Bill, Economic and Organized Crime Amendment Bill, Ghana Intellectual Property Office Bill, Interstate Succession Bill, Legal Profession Bill, Notaries Public Amendment Bill, State Property and Contracts Amendment Bill, Court of Appeal Rules, Economic and Organized Crime Office Operations Regulations, Economic and Organized Crime Office Terms and Conditions of Service Regulations, High Court Civil Procedure Amendment Rules, Interpretation Regulations, Legal Aid Commission Regulations, and others. Minister of Sports and Recreation will bring the following for consideration: the Sports Fund Bill, Sports Fund Regulations, National Sports College Bill, Anti-Doping Regulations, and others. The Ministry of Defense plans to have us consider the National Defense University Bill and the Defense Industrial Development Corporation Bill. I cannot list entirely the legislative program. It promises to be weighty. I therefore urge colleagues to dedicate time and energy to the task ahead of us in this meeting. But I must mention that once again, we will have an opportunity to vet a nomination to the position of Chief Justice of Ghana. It shall definitely be a momentous occasion. Need I say that the nominee should prepare to earn the approval of this House. Right Honourable Speaker, to ensure greater efficiency, I have engaged with political leadership of the minuscule minority, and we have agreed that this meeting will always schedule government business before personal business. That way we will ensure that MPs come on time, we transact government business first, and then afterwards we move to individual statements, MPs, questions to ministers. We believe that this will even be convenient for MPs given the fact that we now have our own television channel and enjoy live coverage. This parliament has many new members. I urge you not to stop learning. Please sit in the House and observe and learn. Build your capacity to participate effectively, and do participate effectively. You can only learn by practice. Right Honourable Speaker, as usual, we count on your continued guidance. You know it all, and under your guidance, we cannot go astray. Let me congratulate you for Ghana's parliament once again being adjudged the most open parliament in Africa by the Africa Open Parliament Index. This is the second time our parliament has won this coveted award, having won it in 2022. All this bears testimony to your remarkable leadership, Mr. Speaker, and foresight in managing this noble institution. Congratulations, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I welcome you back to this House for the third meeting of the first session of the ninth Parliament. May the Almighty God direct our every step, and may the work we will do together in this meeting make Ghana great and strong. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, I'm sure you have observed a facelift in the chamber that you are now occupying. You can see there's a facelift. And I want to thank the clerk and our supporting staff for implementing this decision of the board. And you have also observed that just behind me, our traditional attire, our own hand-woven cloths are distinguished, and you can see there have been also a renewal of those majestic cloths. I think you have read that I led a delegation, including the second Deputy Speaker and some members of staff, to at least share our condolences with the King of Ashanti, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, for the loss of our mother, the Queen Mother. You will have read that we did make a request, because this was the gracious presentation of His Majesty the King, when the Parliament started in January 1993. They had lost some favor, and so we appealed to him if he could graciously come and renew them, and he immediately accepted and directed that it be done. The next day, to our surprise, the team was down here in Accra, and you can see a complete, fresh renewal of those majestic cultural display of our talents. I want to take this opportunity to appreciate the efforts and the gracious support the second. He has done tremendously well. Meaning of what you have behind me, I myself is very challenged, and so if my pronunciation offends your ears, kindly forgive me, because I'm of a different ethnic group. But these kente cloths are of two types. One is called Ejunsi Ejunso. Ejunsi Ejunso. Ejunsi Ejunso is a type of high quality hand-woven Ghanaian kente cloth that translates to designs upon designs, or wisdom upon wisdom. The second is called Fatia Fata Nkrumah. That definitely is clear to all of you, even including me. It's a Ghanaian kente cloth pattern whose name translates to Fatia is a fitting wife for Nkrumah. In fact, those of us who are old enough used to hear it. It was created to honor the marriage of Ghana's first president. In fact, we should always start by saying first Prime Minister and first President, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and his Egyptian wife, Fatia Nkrumah. And this symbolizes the unity of Africa and the Arab world. In fact, that was one of the the visible steps that Nkrumah took to try to unite the states in Africa by personally moving beyond the shores of Ghana to Mali from Egypt. Honorable members, I think you will assist me, as I said, to thank His Royal Majesty for his gracious support to the House. I will, on your behalf, send a fitting thank you message to His Excellency. But let me add that the second Deputy Speaker has been so helpful in these matters. In fact, he has led me a number of times to pay homage to His Excellency, the King of Asante. And we've always had very fruitful discussions, and it's always been a source of strength and wisdom to some of us. Please kindly accept my thanks, my colleague, good brother, second Deputy Speaker, for what you are doing to us. With this, I want to invite the first Deputy Speaker to take the chair whilst I prepare for another assignment this evening. In the meantime, we move on to the next item.
Enti right honorable Avant Backben na yete edenkano say mebrina na akoso yehwe Ghana ye kenti ahoro so a efi Asante memo be pim mo parliament no cheche mu no Fatia Fatan Nkrumah ne meka ho efe yi pa enti wa wura Ghana's parliament sisi a hu say yes no kre Ghana parliament na ere yete honorable Mama Yarga member of parliament de Maboko Central sanso ye majority leader ono so ensama no boboso eno bi na yete no emom say ye hwe Tamale Central ene Akotia MP afofra ya to omo so aba by elections e course no ya so omo in yen konkohwe mfonyin mbra ye ba ekukuda mbeji nkonya atena so yen hwe mbra.
The oath of allegiance. I
say Mahama Habiya Kumpeju.
Do in the name of the Almighty God swear that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Republic of Ghana.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Republic of Ghana.
As by law established.
As by law established.
That I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of Ghana.
That I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of Ghana.
And that I will preserve.
And that I will preserve,
protect,
and
defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
And defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. I swear
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Republic of Ghana.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Republic of Ghana.
As by law established.
As by law established.
That I will uphold.
That I will uphold,
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
And defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
And that I will faithfully,
and
conscientiously, discharge the duties of a member of Parliament.
Discharge the duties of a member of Parliament.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Honorable members, thank you for taking the oath. You are most welcome. And I'll hold you to two oaths that you sworn, particularly the one where you clearly stated that you faithfully and conscientiously discharge the duties of a member of Parliament. To enable you to discharge those duties, I'll first give you the hoe and the cutlass. You don't go to your farm without the hoe or the cutlass. so on a daily basis, I observe members when they walk in. Please, even though I'm 33 years here, on a daily basis, I still refer to the Constitution and the standard orders. There's always something to learn every day. And so I'm going to hand this over to you. There are other documents that the clerk's office will make available to you. And please, if you really want to perform your duties well, you have to put them and sleep with them. There's a lot that you have to learn. Whether you are a professor, or you are a farmer, or you are from anywhere, you have come to a new school. And that school starts from crèche. And you are starting from crèche today. Please don't assume that because of your capacity in other areas, you know it. You don't know it. You have to start learning. Please. Your seniors will do the usual thing. You've all been to school and you've all passed through to the university, you've gone through. You know what seniors do to juniors. Don't be deterred and intimidated. You can perform better than them. Please. But at least, for the respect, the reverence, you have to give it to them. Because they were born before you. And so, on behalf of the House and the members, I hand over this first to the Member of Parliament for the Akwatia constituency. And second, to the Member of Parliament for Tamale Central. We can come. Okay.
Enti metene no by elections course wa Akwatia ono na honorable Bernard Bediako Beidu says ono na oginem as member of parliament de ma Akwatia eno na ye hono sa so na professor Ali Duseidu ono so na oginem de ama Tamale Central ekuku da mi na nde yaso omu ina chese omu show omu adwuma senti says ya de Akwatia constituency ewo MP Bernard Beidu and Bernard Bediako Beidu honorable Sasuna Professor Ali Duseidu ono say Tamale Central nti says ya de Tamale Central ne Akwatia monyamu MP omo ahye adwuma se ende ekoi de tene no nti ye be fie dia na ye ko studios dia ye be din komo kakra pom den ho komo for 10 minutes me Carlson yani ekukudam so bedi enkomo wo studio santi men yi wo fidie ne mfia fi say ende aye Tuesday ija anase ahabeye de ye papa ebeye hye nti ma wo fidie ne nkoso enda heya emom ye ko na ya kofa apomode ho nkomo efi Midimafo Herbal clinic ye de abremu Midimafo Herbal clinic ma ekoso ho na bradwe ne nti ase so miami anti no ya paralyze o aboso oso ko Midimafo kakrebi no moje no nyame adom otumi nante akwe adwubi nti Midimafo de beti o masema memfendi agro yenkonko tie kasani na ahye PR no mo enti ma ewo mai
na ye ka Midimafo ba hospital ampacho yarasabia ba ko a ewo o my Ghana mu ase asoye ne ma akoma miro mpacho ye wo Kumasi ye bua kwa atwuma go school junction enkran ye wo poko asemayira asye ma akoma mienu na wo my Ghana ha sei enti baabi a wo hwe me ne baabi a wo tie me bia sa wo pesa wo ba Midimafo ba hospital a emia ma akoma mienu wei na wo be hu Dr. Time da so na ɔde ebre ɛde ato yareɛ so na afi watu ase de ama wo na ne senti a tambia ya bane no obedi nkita ho ene nkomo ne sɛ oba medimafo aba hospital ɛyɛ bibiduro na doctor de ɛyɛ adwuma on konkofa orthodox medicine emfa mawo bra waba medimafo aba hospital nyatia no sɛ obi mma medimafo aba hospital emma obeka wasema sɛ meti na pai me bo hyehye me anaasɛ empo no me namuro mo twehwe me a na doctor ɛyɛ aduro sɛ gye na kokono mpacho ente sa da biara da esan sɛ medimafo aba hospital no yenam scientific approach afa holistic approach so ene de sayare e medimafo aba hospital a yo poko asema yire Kumasi ebu akwa atwuma ago school junction na neatia no sɛ ɛwɔ bra ye kan haban ahodo de abomu enubena ahodo de abomu ne nua hina de abomu de saw yare no na ye mo wahu sɛ ampa abibiduro tumi wom esan sɛ even onyame oba de no kora ka kyerɛ me no mi no sɛ muni ade abana mo mfa haban no mfa nsa mo yare esan sɛ na woni me sɛ bra bone ba edi ntro mo no na onipa free edi ntro ho akoro no mobekwa akodidi mobɛyɛ adwuma yarewa hodo bɛba mo so ɛno nti na onyame asiesie haban ma hodo bi a me no nka sɛ nyanya ka ho afa kura mposa de nkruma bia ɔyaw ɛne haban hodo dodo na enso ka ho bibi ti sɛ odum na bena nyame dua na bena sɛ ndua ne haban we nyina na onyame asiesie di amayen dada ɛno nti na ɔka asa asɛm no ɛno nti sɛ obi tena ba bi na ɔka kyerɛ sɛ onoma bibiduro a o kidney besai o liver besai ampacho sansam no kra bia nim mesi opoko asema ire Kumasi ebu akwa atwuma ago school junction bia person no yedi nkomo o medimafo eba hospital a pacho e numbers no na didi suyi obi o se crash me ba TV amehwe me ntimi embo numbers me ni obi a o menche obebo numbers na mampacho ma me mbo ma numbers no medimafo eba hospital 0244 774282 0244774282 and 0500 727215 0500 727215 last number 0245 44 9592 0245 44 9592 medimafo aba hospital ma me papa meni aba ne no edi nkomono na senti ameka sai no say so obi ka kyo say bibiduro asai yam ade a tie me pa edua friend say nimtree dua mbacho ye fia hodo mu ankena ha no ka me akwa say uyi fie ma akoma be tena emu ba akode nimtree ebisi fie ho na sai nimtree ameka ho say mpacho say ba say virus infection pa de a nimtree ade a etu ase na ensan so emabia unless wasan so contact sa virus no ansa no wasa nya bi nimtree yes ade no bare bia obebusa se nyoma ben de ka ho bare enti a metam bia metra se me kire odua no bare mentimi nkire nyoma de beka ho ne se edua bia ewo se de esis eduru a esisa yare ye odua bi ho a anyina 10 years time efri wo kor unto 15 years so de sayare wa hodo e betu yare na se bare edua bi ho edi after 15 years untumi mfa nsa yare biem edua bi wa akogina se na haban kra kira se sa edua we yare untumi mfa nsa yare enu nti ana tam ya meka kira se ye wo se edua metumi akira onua ma akoma sa edua san be 30 sa nyare wa hodo dodo na nanso o ko na okoduru ho a obeda hu se edua we ahaba we yare ana se enyare enu nti sa wo hu se bibia ba oni pedua mu a fo ni kire mu medimafo eba hospital na afa ya mu na yentu ase mfama obi say yesi manya fatty liver enu nti no me liver no ahono fabra medimafo eba hospital na say dua friend say nimtree yer be sa yare atu ase de ama high cholesterol aba woni paduanum cholesterol no ehia woni paduanum nya say ehia ohia pa bare mu ekoboro so ne koye high a mpacho eno ana wo se treati enya sa wo arteries no veins no na mu asisi afa adwuma e wo say ye no ntumi nya sa adwuma no fabra medimafo eba hospital Dr. Tam da so na afia mu oni nto ase emfama hypertension ade se ebra wo nyine no ye den hypertension no ebino nipa dodo na depending on your diet and exercise awo yes wa anya sa nyoma ne bidi a den hypertension ebeba na hypertension no eba ewo nipadua no mu a fabra medimafo eba hospital na afia enyi mfa mfiri ho emfa ema na ade ba ko no se meka medimafo eba hospital obi wo ho a na nanu mu bon ankasa obon se wanya kuro e wore tirim ekuro dodo na ya na nya wotirim ebi wo a ya na firi kwan ya faso atwitwiri yense ekwan be na faso atwitwiri yense because obi wo a ono kro sori na pakro ntwiri yense na odidi de tia na se enuane particles no ye de dia bia na ekowura mia hodo bara wo se otimi atwitwiri wo sen o twitwiri wo sen na san particles ni nyina afiri wanum afa krampon so obi wo twitwiri nse won twitwiri ntachrema so minim sasa nioma we nyina ya nioma empo ebia wo ko school kra kira okwan ya befa so twitwiri se bare ni padodo na mpanimfo dodo na anya sa ne tachrema no won twitwiri so afa wanum no esoro ho sa no won twitwiri ho afa wudodom ne wudodom esansa wo gam na wo sia chi no se enuana no kra na sa sweet no enyina ekọ ho afa eforme enioma ewo wo senachi air particles no na afa edi unya ekoba na sa na afa krampons no obi ho biara numa na sabio enum no enhyada nya papa obi ho aduane a wodie no diet enhyada nya papa enunti saliva was e ba wanum no saliva no de tie no se e ba wanum a epiapia bacteria aba wanum no di free wanum nenti obi ho so na nanum ya dry wanum ye tired dry ampa chaw sa anum kanka halitosis ubetimi anya bi enunti ho a wasa wanum no etimi efo saliva no wasa etimi ba wanum na etimi pia sa bacteria ni nyina di free wanum bara nya sa esan sa wo diet bia wo take no enhyada nkoso bra medima fo ba hospital ye nkyerɛkyerɛ kwan abefa so na afa ye mu aduro ni ntu ase mfama obi wa ne de ne ye ne tirim ni tirimu nti no ekuro aba ne tirim enam saa ne nti no pacho nanum kankan no atumi aba pacho ebe solve ade ama e o medima fo ba hospital doctor time da so etena se a ye yini nyina ade afiri ho ade ama ade ba ko no se obi wo a o se me kidney yaka kyerem se me kidney ase enye ye biem ma me papa me aba me aba ma se se o kidney ase a o yarasafo ne awurade obo osoro no obo asase tumi nyina hye ne nsa bram dima fo ba hospital ne mo ne ntu ase mfa ma osan se edro onyame nam na ko aso de ma no onyame na ne kana o se ma duro free Samaria nkenso nka bo to nyare wa hodo nyina ase bram dima fo ba hospital na ye mo ne ntu ase emfa ema na ade ba ko a meka de asoso ade ama no se sabio ye wo yenua marum dodo na ade te no se aya na omunya discharge ahodo enti ya meka kiro se medima fo ba hospital se wo ba medima fo ba hospital na ya wonyare ahodo bi wo ha entatia case o doctor ni so bacteria infection fungal infection entatia case o doctor ni so enti se ba bacteria famu ampa to bra medima fo ba hospital esan se oba se bacteria ahodo ro enya ewuram ewo ahemfie ho a afel bon sa obete enkabone efrahimfie ho enti sa so na wonya unpleasant scent be from ahemfie ho a fa bra medima fo ba hospital na yemwo ebi o ha eyesa o ya o menses no na afi wo hu sa unpleasant no obi nso ho a bra one be ma have affair intercourse no ho na sa scent no otie enya papa bra medima fo ba hospital na yemo ne atie no se eya na bacteria infections ahodo dodo na ho afre bi se vaginosis no aye bacteria za omokwa ahemfie ho a sabi omo ekọ ho a enya papa enya dwuma ya papa na omokwa kodi na emom no omo de ohaw ene ba ahemfie ho ba medima fo ba hospital mba so ya boawo na ya tu ase enso edi amawo esanse saa de we nyina emmoa ema ahemfie ho ntimi nya nit saa condition we no enya conditioner eboa wo ni padua na nkasa enti oba bra medima fo ba hospital na ya mo na yentu ase emfamawo na saa vaginosis no eya na mpempi no oba ubu nsa ana sa wo have sex a ana wote saa enka no saa enka we die enye normal awase mitua na mo epe ho pomasibere na yebo no yetu ase edemawo na bacteria sene de eya na dodo na enso eneba ema so na ne ebia ya na ye sexually transmitted disease ahodo no ebi nso ho a eba maso a ya na de ohaw dodo na enso etimi edeba eno no de wo bra enemu ena de sa nyarwa ahodo sa moamoa no enso etimi eba eno no ya de se parasite na sa parasite eba oni padua no ma oba afe wo benya enkabone bia na nkense se wunya ewa ahemfie ho to na mo fa bra medima fo eba hospital na yemo bi ho a STIs bebre ho a ekọ ahemfie ho a eyenam nyarewa a edi ohaw pa ede beso oba so barama me papa me nuaba ewo so oba afeya na emma dodo na bi ho a enka wo mo ho ebi wa anya sa moa wa mabobo bosi bare mom no ya na poor hygiene esan se ne ho asiesie enti ontumi nsiesie ne ye enti no na afia kwakofa ohaw e de aba besua oba na asa ohemfie ho eno no tu na mo ba ye beboa na afia tu ase e de ama o esan se wan clean ho yie a afia be wiase no emmo no boboa no na afia omo de ohaw enso atumi aba esan se skin no ya na ye wo sauce ni bi wo mu na omu a e wo se omo besene ko eni nti se oba adware na so wa wo hye ahemfie ho yie ama sa sauce na omo wu na mesena nko na omo ka ho a afia obo se eboa no na edenka ne eba eno nti na tambia bo ha o maame aba o hihye won satin tatentia na o maame busa se na akoso ya adwoa obeda ahoro ahemfie ho esan se onim se e wo so ohoro ho yie na afei sauce no back sauce no mawuo no omo besene ko bara wantumi ahoro ne yie a afei no maka ho na de enka ne ede eba afei be wiase no na ko ba bia nsese ko fa bra medimafo ba hospital na ye mo ne ntu ase enso emfa ma oba bi nso ho a ya na aduane die mu nso etime ka ho aduane die ya ade se eboa eno nti se wo diet na anya papa oba mpa chaw wa hemfie ho no entimi nkonkan na ne nyina mu no se obetu na mo aba medimafo ba hospital ampa chaw ye beboa no afie tu ase ede ama ho medimafo pokọ asema yira kuma ase eboa kwa atwuma ago school junction ye di usi na yakọ but your numbers no 0244 77 4282 afei 0500 727215 0500 727215 medimafo aba hospital.
Hi, I'm pleased to introduce to you Cancer Mixture, a herbal mixture for arthritic pain.
Arthritis, it's me. Cancer Mixture, no, Cancer Mixture, no, Cancer Mixture.
Yeruba Biara no drew Morio ya or arthritis. Cancer mixture obey juma when you put it inside. I'm a pencil new grand.
And in Fibina menu on your market for in your button. I want one menu for first baby. I'm from one Sanka, Senior Susan, Boliviara, home doctor, and I report to FDA Med Safety App Nodo.
And Katui, FDA App Nodo.
The National Petroleum Authority hereby cautions persons engaged in illicit storage and trading of petroleum products to comply with the regulatory requirements to operate in the downstream petroleum industry. The NPA Act clearly stipulates that no individual shall engage in any commercial activity related to the importation, exportation, re-exportation, shipment, transportation, processing, refining, storage, distribution, marketing, or sale of petroleum products in the downstream industry without first obtaining a license from the NPA board. Failure to secure the necessary license and properly regularize operations will result in confiscation of petroleum products, prosecution under the law, and decommissioning of facility. For more information, contact the National Petroleum Authority on 0302 550 380. You can also visit our head office located at Jolu off the N1 highway or any of our regional offices.
Oh, Miss Entry, also ya titi be benfie now so ni yamun yonoda. Semicho no hudra mata mi unushia. Ebe ya nwawa.
Ni say what also time for Haxa capsules, any Haxa mixture, yanum kutia also nubia mano anum. Ankan what on dada. Also drodi, and one Haxa capsules, any Haxa mixture.
And come ninchemu.
Also ye kura, eto ye funo ene ensunumu. Etuma we ye funo ekekawa. Woje ho a enyi. Wasa etumi ema we ye cheko. Ebra we didi ewie. Somehow eye also there. Compare Haxa capsules, any Haxa mixture. Nanum bom na ho abeto.
Predudu etua. Ko okanshi drug lane. Kumasi Dani Herbal. Takradi AA Mensa. Anafre 020-3822-855. apefo abatan ya woma won mofra no fo ene mofra woni mfie du mienu enka ho Haxa capsules ene ne mixture
Asatamfo FDA aje edwade nkrato yi atom.
Hi. Now let me tell you about Safari Valley Eco Resort, the first of its kind in West Africa. Upon your arrival, you are introduced to a butler who plans your itinerary.
We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the eco park.
So many activities, all in the same premises. Visit the gym or the stables, they have it all. At my break, I'm able to practice my putting.
We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife and how to interact with them.
They used only electric vehicles here. This creates a serene environment. I'm told it's over 1,000 acres. My cabin here sits on 2 acres with a large terrace space overlooking my private swimming pool. Now this is royalty. They have their own farms, thousands of fruit trees. I can also have my lunch here at the waterfall. Quite a beautiful place you have here.
Visit Safari Valley Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Obrebo eye edwumada. Ebwa eyam eduane. Ebwa eyi insa free ni peduani. Na ebwa woni pedua ma etena ho yi. Nanso, woni we say niema a yedi na yenom. Timi ma brebo ye edwumaden sen pote.
Mehunda. Me brebo ye juma pa e bia se me tumi ye bibi boa me brebo
ani and nothing about the lift kit from the Moses Clinic we have our center about herbal food supplements we see the brebo ama e ye juma ye
na e ye juma
fatopa ye ni no anopa ni anwumre na eboa ma brebo ye juma ye sene be ya e betimi anyam aduane awodi e sisi ni peduane mo e nyi mo finsini
eno na me brebo kia pa
Ubenya Life Kit or pharmacy, herbal shops, and supermarkets are able. So what people do us way to up. Fresh 0244 06 8447. Life Kit. Wawu brebo, wawu nipedia. Edri enye marking for. Ema ema omumanufo. Ne mmofo a wonya mfie dumien. FDA JD kratui atum.
The serene environment fits into the goal of the school, which is simply to provide excellent educational foundation for your world's development before they commence primary education. At first glance, clearly you will see why the school is called Hebron Hills International School, as the building stands tall overlooking town. With a Montessori style, we have experienced and dedicated staff and trained teachers. Our small sizes classrooms are meant to enhance teacher-focused approach where children get one-on-one attention from the teacher. Hello there. We are open at 7:30 a.m. and school closes at 2:30 p.m. After school care is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. while early drop-off can be arranged at 6 a.m. Hebron Hills International School is located at Midye off the Nsawam Road. Locate us with GP postcode GW0688 Ga West and GPS code 06884870. You can contact the school and make further inquiries on 050-876-2375 or call the office directly on 0302-918768. Email us at hebronhills.school@gmail.com. Hebron Hills International School. Excel and shine.
Mesam wakwa bebiom the Bat TV XYZ so bebia wa wo hwemi bia wo so awutie power 97.9 FM wakwa ba edeba eye dwumadi sumredre kokudamaje nkonya atena fom a ensemegu bamba so ye bebedi honkomo mamentias chairman Sofo Osman Dauda we ward chairman wo Brisia Univalley constituency bichecho we co-chairman Dela Guda bididita mo hoye papa aboso gangwe ejraifo ina so bichecho mo chairman Sofo megye di sɛ biribia deden mekyɛkyia mo paa ebra yɛduri yɛbɛdi nkɔmmɔ no ɛkuku da magye nkonya atena so no yɛwɔ ɛyɛ lawyer Kingsley lawyer Stephen Kingsley Benye ɔno na ɔyɛ deputy MD ɛde ma Ghana Post ɔwɔ ha saa so na ɛyɛ list wɔ Nana Kusi Poku ɔno si executive director de ma GAG ɛkuku da me na agye nkonya atena so a yɛba na yɛbɛdi nkɔmmɔ mama akɔ aba mpɛnifo akɔ aba na biribi abɔkɔ deɛ yɛda nyame ase paa anapɛ mi ne wodi nkɔmmɔ na ɔsɛ wofi kuma ase ba ɛhɔ bɔkɔ
bibia bɔkɔ
yɛda nyame ase lɔso said the whole of last week obi aho yɛ ɔho lɔso said 2 weeks
yeah tight
na me fro bia
last week's program staff there by minister by ntina ya hot so anti onim say ha de ukọ anu ama ha it said there was a couple man one twa ha na fie no SYZ babia
yeah that's it
do samre ya obefa babia ho anu bia
yeah that's it
yes mo boys mo
yo and emrekwe nti ye sha ase dia ye sha ase wo attorney general ansem oni OSP fan Keno Furia tensema o chese watwe e de akọ multiple times I say OSP to me oma ohuma e konso akwa se besinde e wode etie OSP say yes sa neti according to Sami Dakon and strategy and communication research no nsem o do ya todwa no yen chase
yo
OSP
mentia TVSYZ for na adwuma 4
yeah also
okay chukumi ni ametia no
okay chukumi
na fe mi ame boss MD Ghana Post ame retasa also metia boy adwuma pa we adwumade ekoto ya nyame andum kakra oguso a obo adwuma na fe nso bibi na anwaso be kwa NDC youth organizer Ghana nti owo shop a Mafudam Enterprise ono de obedru ho 24/7 ha ne da nya de o yi free anti ominim se ba de samo he me chia no pa yomi na me da se
okay we dey answer na ye be yentie Samedako Samedako nensema waka strategy research and communication nensema kakra na into me submission as
I don't think that there is any problem between the OSP and the Attorney General's office, except those who do not understand. The issue really is also not about a docket. The OSP, as you are aware, has been working tirelessly to bring Mr. Furiata back to Ghana. And it will not do anything that will frustrate all the months of the work that it has put together. When the OSC started this work, many people had very little faith that we could even put him on red notice. And if you take a look at the timelines and the things we have done, you will notice that we have done a very diligent work in ensuring that Mr. Furiata is brought back to Ghana. And the OSP is not going to allow this process to be politicized because Ghana has one shot to bring back Mr. Furiata. And if we allow it to be politicized, our chances diminishes. And I'll tell you why. Two major things. The OSP is supposed to give to the Attorney General documents that the Attorney General can use to process the extradition. Now, this document is what people are referring to as docket. The OSP has not refused to give those information to the Attorney General. In fact, just September, although that information was not leaked, the Attorney General had written to the OSP in asking for even an incomplete investigation report. And the OSP has assured that it is building up the rest of the information, and as soon as it's ready, it will transmit to the Attorney General. So really, there is no issue. Unless you do not know the documents that are required for extradition, let me quickly go through some of them. One of the important documents you need for extradition is the arrest warrant. The OSP has the arrest warrant, And if you remember, I know that the media has not been covering it. Since we got the arrest warrant against Mr. Ofori-Atta, he has sued the OSP about 7-8 times. And the OSP since June has been battling these lawsuits alone in court, just to ensure that the arrest warrants remain valid. The next thing you will need is an Interpol red notice. The OSP worked tirelessly and secured the Interpol red notice. And the red notice is alive as we speak. Even as I talk to you, Interpol International has written to us to justify why you should continue to remain on it. And that is routine. Almost every 6 months, you have to justify why a person should continue to be on red notice. And people don't know the meaning of red notice. It means that the OSP has effectively restricted the movement of Mr. Ofori-Atta. Hitherto, we have records that shows that he was crisscrossing America and London. But currently, as we speak, he cannot do that. And we know that he's currently somewhere in Maryland, Virginia, Washington. And so those who think nothing has been done, a lot has been done to even restrict his movement to one particular place. Now, there are other things you need to add to the extradition briefing, which is the offenses you have charged the person with. And then there's something called constitutionality. You need to justify whether the offenses here is the same as there. And then the most important thing that the American court will look at is the issue of the political character, political bias, witch hunt. You need to justify that the person is not being persecuted but being prosecuted for stated offenses. It has nothing to do with politics. That is the most important one. And these other ones is the AG that will be justifying it. What we need to provide to the AG, we have majority of them. The only thing left is the fact that we said that we have discovered a lot, volumes of documents that we were analyzing to board up our charges against Mr. Ofori-Atta. And so we will finish with it. And these documents were the documents we retrieved from SML's office when we searched the SML's office. And we're saying that we need time to analyze these documents and add it. So it's not like I said, we have not given the Attorney General any briefing or any information that he needs to do it. We are only adding to it. And that cannot be construed to mean a delay or that we don't want to give anything to the Attorney General. Those who don't understand will always come and talking.
Into the voice of Sameda Konete and kind of strategy, research and communication, the OSP. No one semna Yakoteno. My member also law. Yes, Ofa Ghana Kamum Kabi Mai, and yawo mrakuni ya di bumano the constitution anona echira manu hihye ekwan ya mfaso na edwuma enoko article 88 ema attorney general tumi se ono ne abanfo lawyer pani one to abanfo omani tumi se obi di boni a ye nche no fa no kogina asem aseni bia ni na asem nyina de ama attorney general okay senso aban pese obi obi court obi nso pese odi aban court attorney general na gina oman na nam na special prosecutor office no by wabra yebeka president Akufo-Addo ebedi akonwa na office kofu bi omunni na manyokum obetima apakwan bi so na wode hawo mu na wafa kwatikwan bi so apese bi odo mbekwa akogwu afiase nti yes yemfa office of special prosecutor ma manfo kra ka se ana adwuma be na ebe ya attorney general ntiminye yoku ntiminye nanso wode bai eno de bai no owura odika yi no owura Matiamidu sabre no so no bia nim se Matiamidu ne na manyoku a no from NDC no na omuntie no muti adoa homa so pa on sa adoa na homa no so ntimote so a na mo pre so ha enti na botai nya ne se omra no meden o ma me ha ne party for na yesi utimu fa enti amonku on so baaye no woye ya wanya hwe afi otende ya ko o mampani akasa nua ke no Ofori-Atta ya so abro mampani pa no se onye hwehwemu mfa
normal na ekokoso kota hye ne proya na ekoso na ban mu ebra owie ya okobọ mampani ama na ohu se ne nua no wo mu ka sanke be ya onye ne mfiri mu ema ehun nsem ba emenam so amate amedo de koi efiri hokoi nti bra mra ne ba 2018 she ne dwuma ase 2019 e ba no ya assessing here office of special prosecutor said then faso ne enya film se call man dey room enim faso enya film dey di kan no me say ubisa me a me hu faso e wo so adwuma no mo ye no atoni je no e betima ya ma na broso in the first place na hu hia se be call now special prosecutor ne Ghana for the hide and seek bi so sabi o yinyina nyame ado ya lawyer for yenim I mean case court wa you can be bra on betuma faso a dance around the matter so ti ase asem kese we aba opani obe ye foto sanfo then na onye edikan hwamanfo a omonam ne nsa so ahwe omwa omo a enam ne so hwe omunuma enam so me bi di ko wo mo no ma bra bi omo banks ne ade akwan bia so oseda ogu omo numa omo nam ne so koda afiase be se me to banki o ma me ntode a mepe kwan bia so ateto ebi nam so koda afiase if we say ye bad the fourth republic since 7 January 1993 besine finance minister Bena ono an party for members of parliament MPs etimi call o mampani ho etimi ba bonten se ye nyini free ho e ke no frata o mampani se da o man free if you say only nim the oya ama no na papa we eni no mark bonia kesi ne bank data bank bosia bebre ba o man ko boya na ye ka ho asem nyina no na kenofurata antija because e hona na all sankwan free bosia bia ni eurobond e bako akoji bia aba no na omo ne bank no na ye transaction advices sika twitwiri dia onye free o man ho e criminal offense ni nyina no papa no ebra abansesa ya office of your friend is special prosecutor sha say wo ye ni se mu hwehwemu wo so wo yare o kwa aba abi no bia nim se ade e clear say nipa no pe kwan bi so ade ni ti ade ordinary akamura na ya mane kwa mane ko na ya de asem no kokko no abefale motion na ya ti akoda esi ne se ya kina se di dan kwanti no no de endwin ko fa ne mai sa asem no da benrechi na me interview me ka se mo se kenofurata asem se betimi pa ko enuma je se ekodi atone je nansam
go explain to me
ontimi me nua de wo asem ba na se mpanin se asem ba na danse no a wo se asem na ho bi no twa de adanse uti omo nkasa a omo ka ne omo ne ya bia akoye kono kaya so ni kono kaya e so be gina no ma ho a ono a onso a onso omo bi kwa ma ne so a so a da se eno bi no omo ye so enti attorney general wo na constitution no Nigeria do constitution onim special prosecutor sir and me no say president Akufo Addo press one ka we be cause never sameda ako yes am yenim no sam nu ansan twofo ni bia so na ojo ayi eno makosho na uti o monsamo dempa na moye a deputy attorney general on record say o ma twe on countless occasion abramo no bi o mu hia on fa mo ma so mo de ma o mo a o be the right thing ama kenofuri ata ba bi o hye bia ko fanaba ne na famra kwanso ntino mo fa ma o mo so mo ni asem no mo hwa no ma preba ko bi atum no so na mo chire wa so wa ko fale mo ke motion se no fa nko ya ko to mo tuwe
mo ni sai so mo ni edi akro
of course na me kan tell say me nyo mo ni aduma no mo ye wo kenofuri ata de no and our office of special prosecutor akra ba no chire me case papa ben watimi edi adinkunim da
I say
case akwaya o gabe yes was akwaji bra man ko lusu case a ba video bibia ho so what PS ko kwaji high court mo lusu akwaya ba o mi officer o mo ko wi amu case ne ko sisan
ko si hu
nto on train o mo ba yesika twitwi de officer o makoto o mo timo case ba ko pa o man o ma ya ma Ghana dis on faso just job for the boys ya create new one eni asesa nkofo agu okeke na bosom bia yetwa muka sana mu no and this a man pa de wampani bisa ma adwena meka sasa office no ngum yen o adwumafo na oyafo mo ko hihya attorney general abanjuma e bro ho alo ya fo kra no yefo mo ko chinchim ni ngu no ngo ko adwuma mo attorney general case ben attorney general ndimi hande when seasoned lawyers oh more my experienced lawyers oh attorney general yi o ya ze doctor anyi o senior lawyer o chire mra what nim dia oye o ndimi hande asemu yi na o dimrika kantam so wa wonye my consume yen so aboy wo se be politics na den na politics nim yeni attorney general akrodo ko gina court anu ni adanse okofre ni accused person akoko coach no aye record no beto abonte and so mamwa but for that day no the no hanging fruit evidence is so abandoned one enya no kwese Unibank bo se bia okogiye no omankasa ko parliament ama ye bisa na question manage tumu enti said they di we mu kono sa sibene oware using official office for private benefit what do I say no millions of dollars emoji for man what the good bottom causing financial loss to the state banks are no mu here just about 9 billion this of bisa say sika send the same good banks okoma amafo nam so wuye wo de na wa onam abrochi na wo say we chai we no yire mo jimoni o ma manfo wu omo bofom omo yesi omo ya sansanfo because no ye nadwuma to modinti uwe wadwane akota
abrochi Ghana 4 banks
so they say nyankopɔ di kan tia no enne say okoba ya na wa yesi funu no so sa na yi no nyankopɔ tia no but wantie enti dia ye no e wo se ye de ne kwa fiase ono so nim nti no dim nika ujiri sa bibi na wa power na NDC finance minister bi yenye nim se na ho won san se me kwa ya sa bo mama ne kwa manako o mama ne kwa ho na me se office of special prosecutor no case no ontumi nya no e da nti ase ye adwuma se papa ne kwa nam se akwe onye ne tradidim ene se wa kwhye ho a wonam ho oye enti esre attorney general oba so far so good adwuma oye but Ghana for her enu akina metie mu ko mo assessment no oye pu about President Mahama Kumasi ye ba na metie se metu ma boss station ni dia omukra dia ba out na obi etu se President Mahama so far oba ne performance wonu so omo afre nyina me ba me nua ni omo no na ne ba tika man yeti almost obia oti Mahama President Max bia ti because of Kinoforiata se ontimi ntie no ontimi fa ne ko gira mra kwa Kumasi
wow
na make kiro Monday ya anwa na Monday anopa na mo yes a program entity ma mo fon te se de oye no akwa ma obi expect se papa no so ye de be famra kwan so we get titi no kran ke fire squad because ko fa wa mo wu hwe ato asiamu de na mo yom koda fiase ma mento bank mi se mento enwonti yem pakwa bia so ye fa nkoto afiase
bad
hwe kwabreto fo doctor tamo she ni business ase pa kwa sindumu useless ye say ya mo ma ya sansanfo
asamu
na wanya wanyina wa kwatra buchire na anam streets na flex na oyere
Heritage Bank alaja gongo mdi no
yes
se wasem wo court
Ndibagu Bank you know na o tenya nkopom tumi ana na o tenya me na Nebukadnezar krama na de mena base bra na bebu akonta da bia meka se oman ne som no eni akontabu ne nam public office goes with accountability and the ones that will be accepted say we are public service no then you must avail yourself for accountability and you be na Kinoforiata nim boni a wadinti wadwane akosha brochire no na de den say ya wo mra wo wiase a wudwane kwache ba bi kwa timi do ba bedi wasem eno ne say attorney general anko enjisa case na ono a ya ginidi onfa ne mra mfa Kinoforiata megina wuni ana nan say bia o mo we aka san dade ye ba chichi bi ko ade na timi fast track on timi fa ne ma it is a OSP Sameda, director of strategy Attorney General so here nkrata it take how many months it take how many months na the krata come no so anya fo mpani se otifa kwa to ade so busum bia na betum de na oje nti obekeka de o kan say politics and then politics obi adi bone na wato oban mra ye de ne be fa mra kwan so no politics ndi enja obi anon fa no huni wo nti de kan say kokwasa se de na nam kan kokwasa pa asa titena iso e kwa fum no etwa do ma na say wo wa say obedo asa wo no o ma me wo say kokwasa na wo ye no wo anno na wo kofie ndi pompo ji so do wa say ono obedo ono a ono no gina ho papers documents investigation you be in OSP former attorney general Angel because the mika kind of OSP no ramrana attorney general na recommend me appoint o say attorney general say because constitution in only attorney general to get it then our boss say dia bra this is bad media I the answer this is deputy attorney general bad media meka say bu krate ya akwan or some farmer so no sense to all let us failure if persuasive face but say people be I far when to you force sanity apply force so because papa we no ma wa be no mamu ko fo japade ko fo a omonam so dia to amanfo na ayo ko sam so be fullness atum sisi a wo de obetinsam we are working on Akoshaw. Yamfa namra. OSP media maka say office no. Me ebia na minim de. So obi a obetuma culture case papa ben pa rekumasi die. A obi o say ama na MC wa kotua bra video nyina on so mkolusu ye. O man kolusu. Mulusi. Ba o mi office obi dia ko wi amu. Amu obi awi amu ama ho aba ayi kura o man timi handle case no. Wa produce Okechukwu da bia me shi akot. I'll be follow abisa say case na kosi san o want man the case papa ba ko be no matma handle if you say be office no vis-a-vis o de to sikapudu a man no de akowura ho office nko a ko check sika om de si o office no motimo no check sika om de mudura mo so sika na ntimi ko big push betumi so that say akra kuma say dollarization eye you ban ko kan ho ma ntimi nyama ne ye betumi ama aye manai entime say office no hu fa so e wo so yes mpani say agro beye da ifra no pa asase na ye de matia medu no aye de ne ba ye no kra no e ko sisan e simple anye yi na alaba so enu ntime nia attorney general fa ne nansi form ya Judy doctor o se wase oda no so mfamra wan fama wo tumi constitutional amount articulated or say attorney general one can special prosecutor bia in random name special prosecutor um attorney general so wase oda no so mfamra odimrika na de beba so one fama so the Dr. Kwabreje kan there are so many ways of killing a cat e do ba bia gentility o because the econo me say wo my friend me nanu kwa ka say enye ken for atanka president obenya mass pao me say asante we dem kumasi Usa FM emma me ba no pa na me fro na meti obi obefre bia kumasi and it tells you say adia obeye ye no nkofo hwe say le dem be fa na kwanso of course you are aware article 19(2)c presumption of innocence oba en ka say yebua okufo ye do be court you know kwan na so abeka wasem but me ya ohwe no ma wo ye ya the mere fact say wo dwano no anim tete we die ye nkwa gina o kan ya we die nkwa gina ehwa ye se nyina nkra no tete nkra no so we die o se gina hwa because the evidence ne boni a wa ye no die se e wo babia na wanya ho akotan bochire yamfa ne mra na omra mebu akonta finance minister okotena ho a we ya wa bre yanyini kotena free kura ni miakofo ase da bi misama no ayi the friends international advisor se wona na cash do ni nyina ba de sane koto ano no mebu akonta se de be ya ochina bi menu ete de bi ameka Penny say, oh, your phones are now heard, you go phone and sat to see the pa. Yes, you are to me. Young for to me, no Yaka bin some. Young fan town will be, so will be of Towa Japa, dear man, promise me peck be sweated because you to me. My girl. And I'll be Jimmy again, and yet to me. I know my echo. And you be not, or ye. So that's here. I'm a man for Codelfias, besides a bank's the Guiano. I told you, the unqualified Guia. Apart from the Musa and the Cofias. Even the very deadly capital bank near the other way. Omonana was so for the Omonamo, and I'm for Manco Court. And the attorney general, so, and I mean, okay. What's your wassy? Or down non fan cratter in Namra. Na take over na yemfa papa ne mra yemo ne kwadon fa ne kojina court
Mamenda lawyer Stephen Kingsley Benny ask papa mamendro so listo yentio
mamfa kunya suntia yanu etifo ne ahwefo ntia lawyer so memo na baso ni djuma so a omodi bo my Ghana se odi ebo abaso ani ebo abaso se wajuma danso na sani lawyer kan adru sabre ya na nipa nyina agibrete na topic ya de bae na ama my emotional kakra yeah esan se ya boken for at dia me say ya bo udini mamboye ni yes udini pa mamboye ni senka etetina enka ye famra nya adwuma sabi kana sifu nyina wo se ya hwo mu nyina cause we ni baba binyini abechen no ni papa sana no tie pepe okoto nwanu ma omutirimo dini yo omu ya wudifo na we chance e free baby na lawyer ekoho na adia ya wuya simpa ni se wo hankasa wa ba obra na odi usika wa bo bra nya no bebo aban besia na sebi enye sebi a wakuhia ke Nicholas wo kwa ho na adi usika amano sika na odi koma aban no yes is the safest way of saving your money or investing your money na sika na odi akoma aban no na aban wudi from man boy for MPP aban akromfo tutumotom balawfo bitimi ahwe ni pelim na washa tarifufu akoti bible na abrewa wako na hunu jem akokra wako na hunu jem na yahwe na nima ka che ni se usika na wo de bo aban besia no se de ba mawo agi se uwu brem wo na wo na nkanso no aba be gisika na ko and I'm so they are emotional about no ama the yoko bua me fitufo a sabio and committee radio su ni TV su na nka menya text message American what to say and what not to say a nanka ye owa kama nanka otiha sabi making kind messages take it easy slow down me fitufo ba kwa me se bofo a sabi kan fo ataman bo ni wudi ni we ku no enti da me ti se me yira be gina be dwem se kan fo ata yare no me se e ka de se kan ko dira popular stand enka onwai show me kame koka e ka de na manka kan fo ata mi paboni ni we ye ni pate kama Kano Foyata, why no organ ha? Obetimi de nsa tere ne se Kano Foyata na ma me bo obra. Why nipa baako? Tere me baako. Awudi fo busua. Kano Foyata. That's am working. Na edu ba bia o ma we no. No krasa. Enti deɛ ɔka no kora no na wɔyɛ ɔbɛboa no tamfo ɛsiane sɛ woka no kora pii kora no a ɛkɔm de wo enti nipa mpa no kora ka ɛno nti na ɛfiri sɛ yɛwo mekɔ no aba adwuma da because sɛ wobɛma m'adwuma nnɛ na mekura nti wobɛyi madi nti no mempɛ memɛserɛ wo because wode ma me a mɛka no kora ama wayi madi ebi kura na nokura no ɛda waboboa no na ɛwɔ sɛ mɛka ama wayi madi na I'm so happy say a member of this government is seated here and the chronology of the discussion is putting it right, at least to tell the difference between what the XY regime and this current regime is. It's telling the difference. Why? When you say the office of the special prosecutor, no, this is the first time I am critiquing the office. This is the first time. Maybe that. Because Kissi Agyabeng had a tough and Akufo-Addo. I knew what he was going through. But if you look at the sluggish nature of Kissi Agyabeng at work, you are likely to conclude and be very suspicious, highly suspicious of how clandestinely people want to sweep things under the carpet. And I think for the first time, I'm calling for the head of Kissi Agyabeng. Kissi Agyabeng. Because, you see, put the issues in perspective and let's analyze them and see why it doesn't have to take the OSP or the Office of the Special Prosecutor that long time. 9 months, a tremor. What are the issues? First of all, National Cathedral, a corruption-related offense or Shushim Mobwa. Number 2, SML, a corruption-related offense or Shushim Mobwa. Number 3, ECG Beijing J loss contract B, and also Omushushim. And health ministry contracts B, and also EFA ambulances B, Akufo-Addo Mma, Ekotoye. And yes, sir. Okay. These are the 4 things I will Omushushim. Debt exchange is not even part of this discussion. Yes. There are other several issues related to insurance. How Kemefo was able to collapse the SIC and use his own enterprise insurance to do government business illegally. These things have not even been touched. That exchange now, nipa amamrewafo koye your friend is saying Nedonwo Finance Ministry, it took Arise Ghana to intervene. Ukaya. And sana Kemefo take me play in the office. Kwa baba engage you. We didn't even bring me. Not ni rinya the effrontery. Ni kunu yare. Obi kunu na ewu no. Obi maame e na ewu no. Obi papa ni pa o ma wu. Esa Kemefo take me Akufo-Addo ewu disem. Na ma boy sem Minya edi on me tia on the best me bono. That's why I began with that solemn way of, because Kemefo tanya nipa I was saying ki twentwen so kra say ye twen say obi onkofa ne mra. Now I won't sit here and preach violence. Because Ghana for all over the world. Yeah, say the taboo to the so say, what bet you can for a pay, one Ghana city, kura, you bet me a chin de maba, yeah, tapu. Yeah, one Ghana city, what bet me who can for a tan, and can on the main street, you know. Ghana for the year, I'm one of the naba. because ahana wo free ahana we Ghana nia sabi obey your finance minister. This is here you can want me e nine and 9 pay. OSP ede bo so me 9 no dey hwehwemu. I am privy to some information about how they have uncovered some rods. I mean, yeah. So we uncover rod no. Na entuma katanioma so a. Me pacho, have you uncovered? Ekozi da ben. Enti justice delayed, they say it's justice denied. The Ghanaian today is not, and you say we are in the haste too. The president who assembly puma sibre. Na eyense na ho. Na etuye nyanu mo wa ban mu fu se. Untimi nya bone fa wo ni. Me no ka say, how many people haven't alleged say enkofo did sika je dankofo? How many people haven't alleged? And so we such a position. Now, person was so bad for so many women. And if you and your tina say, yeah, Juma, I was so office every blessed day. Office, you know, and yes, I buy Monaco. The last time I checked, you see a man 143 million Ghana cedis. Akohima abade bo am say onfanya adwuma enkochi akron formula sa sika ya de mani abai ma me just 1 million pe akron for amachi omo no oh anu tire ya me so bi o wa obonko se code no obotaya e se ne kwa 1 million Ghana cedi no meti chama street boys we need one city kura be chama street boys ya be tia kro for Ghana himina ka nka aye ni ko na ba bi kura fa ne nansi okay be 24-hour court services ya bi kwa no pa bi kwa wi na bi kwa nyumia bi kwa na adwa homa chi judge from mo brema de bi na gbo so judge ne Ghana you na twi from na praf ya be yima di kura 24 hours court ni ya adwuma. The first track, the tribunals. The book, papa, who could this can one boy amani, we had you got 2 years of amani. Now, Buffalo is one sentence, no man, you read Jawatu, I was our and one Ghana for you. That is the only reason why I came and sat on this platform. Maybe now this is neither. That is the Munu. So I need to do my number to car. How much less he said, who is he? Yeah, Attorney General beg complaining. Enough of the complaints. Crack the whip. Unity. I'm not going to sound that bell like my able lawyer is trying to mean that the office is a very important office. So Sukuwa would be Su and one else will be Susuma. Let a coup for the yes say what power bonnie. Then so fair radi. Bonnie no power. Fasa bonnie nadino. Baba ye Jomahama ne namo who say Airbus and into Jomahama ye kronfo meboa sir ye kwa Airbus ye bibi and into that office is important. Use that same office to crack the whip and punish the criminals in society and let them feel the taste and the heat. Appoint a new person. Sek Kisia Jabin. He is incompetent for the role. Because you see, how long does it take? Unim adeko kaya. Unim sasa me da akuro ti wono. Omo no wa say office no. Yes.
Dientina sameda akwa say office.
PR adwuma ne say. Say ka PR ni adwuma ya ka kise da be multi platform so no ba be ka de ekoso office ho. Quarterly. Wa bon.
Son no ye ne boss. Nti to se bia.
Dabi.
Boss ne se me na me pese.
Dabi. Onim adwuma.
Person ka dia.
So PR ye na adwuma ya. Ukrano, you hardly will speak. Ansa na be kasa no na bia e ya samba kubi na aba na bia e mu ntetemu no yesi asem bi o wa ese ohina no asem bi o wa ese tiamia no Ada na kise gabu na fedi osuma Same Dakuno also mekasa. I say when Same Dakuno also meka. Kise Jabe has shown much incompetence. He should be sacked immediately. Like the lawyer ably said, the Constitution doesn't know him. The Constitution knows the AG and the Minister for Justice. I know that A was spelled in 88, Article 88, Meboa. Lawyer Meboa. And he said, Mr. President, you're heading. Maybe Frank Subonin Kobo, and you, he said, Gabion, may the bomb penny. Because on the wire, high at Naho, I make you say, Gabe, Sebi, auto to Papasso. Eh? Abawi. Ghanaians will never forgive it if it allows itself to be played to that chaskele of Ghanaian politics. Say, oh, politicians, share with Mama Baba and what you be. If this government allows itself to be played to that chaskele of Ghanaian politics, and this year good, I'm telling you, because that is the only reason why Ghanaians decided to vote massively against the MPP and for John Mahama, because John Mahama said what the BBA by a friend oral. Now when I buy or no baba you work from for. Now we want out there say me buy you. We now the 2 bedroom and number 9 Cathedral SML ambulance Emma Baku ECG and number 4. Now number 4 no crown for Jimmy 9 months. Now, how long does the Aban have? Aban in the time, yes, saying. Now, within 9 months, President, you never. So, when you never, the president is to blame. And can show and caucus or Benjamin Po. Who could change and make us or Benjamin. Nipa now, no, and no, you did 2 million shares as a man penino. Or no, there was a Bushubone Bono. So when you say WB, Uncle Penny Papa, Obetia ye Jumano, I'm not Ghana into my pay fra. Remember Traham because he said that yes, I will say he's incompetent, he's all that, but I will end up blaming the president. Because me the president. He said that me into Abamano. Eti Nadi. Na Penny Pa, who didn't so bet me a Jumano money met now one Juma. And that's how they are money timelines. Because come say as someone who can tell me say and I political and at the end you know America ho Trump who cried Nicoy Trump I don't know political. What do you mean? I mean when you play on my mind like this you get me angered. Political. Who the politics let America for? What be Disika was a political. All this kind of no names as ordinary political money. What names I kind of Fosika? Sikana no mu ya ma ku for do mano no nim Cathedral sika mu ko shemu no nim say a political abe catch say you have to show that is not a political there pese mu na mako school na mo te bofu na de be dada me nana ade ba ko kai kure say me bufu ya bi hu say Same Daku san ohia teaching and say sa samu investigation na wie ya for investigation na wa ye ne ko na ko to aso because e kwala na de be agro who investigation who wie say wo ensuoi say ensuoi e yesu papa wo de fensuo ne ko who wie na ba hwem box nim say ebi da so mu ana na wo Same Daku we di fie say ade ya di agro eti no sa de na omo ye no e ma me suspicious say to makatania maso. And I can't be going about talking too much. The buck stops with the president. And he must crack the whip. If the president decides not to crack the whip, then he must take the blame. You don't come here now in the first term. No, you have can you do man go go bia. And you don't mind they say no. Now the man we no ECG. Now then I say gabe ya la kadasika attitude bi ba bi na who say be man na ya enko ya. And na won say be ko tire ba bi na me say be ko twin so. It media if the president does not crack the whip, we must blame the president.
Medase enti listo Nana poku anana kusi poku na yete ne nka no na meka wo se Medimosu Diagnostic Center semen control se orane laboratory service ahro ho oye kidney ni liver function test sa so na cholesterol profile 4 blood unit counts, 4 blood counts, also na prostate, urine analysis, blood, and the mekeka hu bebre nanka so digital x-ray or dental x-ray. Any bebre nanka san so ko no pese the infidia hro show ni peduma. Medimosis wo baby okwa mu equipment ahro no show ni pedum kama na bibia etumi akonkan. Adanta Barry opposite the police station will be hu mo ho from 050 349 4885 and 0244 06 8447. No name Medimosis for Ndin Komo. Safari Valley Eco Resort in the Midru so Safari Valley Eco Resort necessary ni Ghana for na to West Africa sub region hanti so ko we ni beji ye papa pomo kre Dewu district ho no be hu omo me pa cho bebre wudru ho a 24 hours dey be a time bi omo ye adwuma sa so na me pa cho wudru amwa horo se mara antelope zebras giraffe ni adina we be hu bi ho a we ni beji ye papa before conferences, day visits, weddings, honeymoons, any birthday celebration or host to a hope. Me pacho bebre, sasana bi obedo ni problem. Wope continental ni local dishes ani na bi hope na meya hum keye ni je kra wo ho yina ne se wudru ho a me pacho cycling horseback riding wo ho fishing on man-made lake and sana and 9-hole golf niema bebreda na ekoso ho nti obetumi ne omede nkomo na wetumi akọ ho kwa wonko amenko ne wadofo enko na ehwe ni je yi papa 0596 9143 49 0596 9143 9 na uni omunde nkomo Victory Garlic Mixture na medru so Victory Garlic Mixture me pacho be brobi ho awakoma bo periperi won say how awakoma si to no abnormal biom won sa na wona na ayetitriti eto se bia na wedi so akusukusu ope edure betumi abo mo moje ni die frusa ne ye Victory Garlic Mixture na me kamfo ede amount oyare onya bi no ebebo papa nya na wogan ha bibia ye ton edure bia Uko kan Shikens Walkeba, Dudu Bio Peno, when Sabetumi Akam, 020 12932 80 and 0242545633. No name penny phone ding come on. Me pacho Divine Hope Herbal Center, monomode or tria herbal powder. Abedraman, so tria herbal powder, Beman or Bow CCO, yes, Asuna Coco ne how. Be pacho, why embre won pim, low libido, stroke, and also a menstrual disorders ne how. A Divine Hope Herbal Center, na may come for a mobe hiane say, Ubenya one more takakra, na me pacho, what's such as bakon, or tria herbal powder, and you go one num, Ubon Guma, me pacho, you are good to go. Open once maybe for 0591 565 557 and 0550 639 037. Na bibia into me and call kai say na wo pharmacists ni herbal shops are at wapeto organ hey na okwa won sabe to me akotwe bi ex natural mineral water na medru so ex natural mineral water me pa cho bebre yensu amuda hokrogen we no mo hu ye 500 ml ye san wo 350 ml on ice a ball no na wo 750 ml dini ex natural mineral water on na make am for am to be serve wo parties ase family celebration occasion bi ase be ma no ba na akola na peni obetumi adom ex natural mineral water wo come on so betumi akabi wo Power FM and XYZ broadcasting ya himfia ha ye wo su abebrese street wo ba depo kesena ho kese ope Uncle Robert didu bi ope no won sabetumi aka sa so no betumi afre factory was 05962735 46 0596273547 na bibia into me enko enkan sa Power Specialist Herbal Hospital na medru so Power Specialist Herbal Hospital me pa cho say hepatitis A B C D and E and fatty liver sciatica prostate ne how won sa na na ebu pain also am kro ne how and compo fibroid ni na no we do any chemo Power Specialist Herbal Hospital on betumi abo papa Kumase omo fe yas Lake Bosom Road opposite Jesbro Filling Station Accra branch no kwa benya poku as ACP Road Sasso na Takrade branch no Anaji Estate adjacent Anaji MA Primary School for 024454 4422 and 0200383831. No name pen for Kasa, the BBN to Concan. Lift kit capsules, and a bit so lift kit capsules, see a boy, papa, boy digestion, sasane handsome metabolism, and sign a yinium and boni peduani now, so a supportive liver function power. And to win a binoma, a beboma be to me a concan. Your friend lift kit capsules. Ono na me come for a month. Would me a would any chemo baby a 200 rubiania, Casso per lift kit capsules. Na no so unsa it to me a come a baby to me a concan a 0244 0684 0244 0684 47 na bibia into me enko enkan emfe mouse na me pacho say wotie me a say Honorable Ato Sapon says you no ye Agriculture Development Bank penny or down MD not say ye no mbetumi de ato so say PMO ha monfen to so mayena ye ntumi nka ho asem kakra binim say MCA ye de abremo dia mai so dia ye nkwa ni monsaka na ya to aso wo ho nti say beba studios na ya to enkomo no so na ye kwa ni ma na ye hwe the New Patriotic Party NPP any UP nsensem but video bi o ho Brian Champon aka e afa Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia ho ye ba UP ne NPP nkomo yendi video no ho ready am hwe
on the Bawumia now the office the office of the vice president nipa 100,000 napko yentime jomuka at the office of the vice president ama ye lose election. Etosun yenu Ekufuadu se odi abrante bi ba ama na be hihye Ghana sika ama emu aye de ama odi ahoto aye de abreye ye fa dollar no from 4 ye pam ye fi aban mu na dollar no was 17 yama how much the economy no na run na fa win election ma wo ho ye de 54 e de accord 17 e provide your line e wo Ministry of Finance e jira e konso e job sika areho ye de apamo ye yes fertilizer na beje ye lusu wo ba subi ho no subi ye due bro wo ya kolu ya vote akofo kwa da so ha e bro ahin we bia wa circle la ye lusu over 20,000 ye due bro wo circle sa propaganda no enko bebia muma enfanto nche ye nyina kwa da so ye mature constituency ye ni ensem ni bi wo hono mo ye ntimi fa ya no enka wo platform so stage so as ye nyina wa ha ye ni nyema e koso ye lusu ye anti ye repeat candidate enko ye maye
o mamunu sikasem so ohwe neni so make I say on the face of it the Obama pluses and okay. Yeah, don't forget say at a point in time, inflation NDP administration at a point in time, Koya could do over 50%. Then within the 12 months, ban na SOT to the extent that it was hovering around I think 21% or so. And it's by an annual aside perform. Abenya single digit. And the inflation perform about single digit no. I think it's positive. We hear no interest rates ukoje bank besia and also cost inflation cost in the also cost it went as high as about 32-33%. Ye fees one na perform about 22-23 and me perform kakra bill sub 20. I think it's the region of 18-19 and also a positive even though so year inflation had performed by more than 10 percentage points. I also think interest rates never perform more, but we say quarter loaf is still better than none. And we share interest rate here. Then exchange rate, and so at a point in baby could do I call the official was about 16 cities. If it's one now a buffer to about 14 cities. And me NDC buy a buffer to 1050. Now a pejadum kakra a call about 12 cities. And even 12 cities in the crown from 14 that's about 12 obeka say omaya de ewo nti se wo hwe sa nimana you rate buying say my then let me also talk about the establishment of the gold board. So I don't see something positive in our manifesto. Yes, yeah, I'm from the gold board, but those things are economic management. I say yeah.
Enti sana tie Brown Champon na semodi kankai sa laji my wood ba mi ombohu sa so na chairman saboso so boy his excellency John Dramani Mahama Baso setemanti wa boy juma pa lawyer Stephen Kingsley Benny.
Yo that's it. Yes, I'm saying MPP omo prepare for more presidential primaries. And I think so movement for changing so one more a change you metamorphose into a party.
It's MPP in UP.
My UP United Party.
MPP, yeah,
so, Romandian say call the history right United Party more call the 1979 elections. UNC, UP, and PMP near the Homes and PFP, yes.
And yeah, offshoot of UNC.
UNC, yes. Akufo-Addo, yeah, some. Until me know where ne MPP, omo ba abemu, omo me bobra pa bia, enunti mpanisi apronchire ni wu ana hu ne tenten. Omo bebre wa na swakata, but omo free abemu no bebre egu so IPP ba, enya akra manwie, and surprisingly no bia anso akwando so obedi mampani nti omani abre gidigidi omo na mu a omo bontoa na omo nto abomu no em say attacks do na ekọ Dr. Bawumia so omo former candidate and utie Brian Asma oka say o say President Akufo-Addo ka say okofa obi a se suru abofo bi ba ana second Jesus ajinkwa bi ba a obeboa atutu sikasem mama sikasem no atimi agina na ayeye so ho ana ekofa obai okra yese na unqualified according to engineer Kwabraji Japan na on ni party card ni nyina mu na no hin nto ni nyina mu no mo ye ma koye ma we ba na timbai obai nso na party ba power koye ademi ehwa agirega apaska dollar ite praga minia yantima nche no na ekoko ya nyame adom President Mahama baya ato on this se nyame adom ankakra kromato twama agina sidi na hode aboma wa ebema now Brian Kansembi o se ohwe normal mo mulusu ya do na fi Dr. Bawumia o se so fa napko 100,000 mampani so okay una ade adwe na ba enem de aba office wa he na tu omuka mo ko gina wiam ya adwuma want man tu omuka na afa napko fo sika dia so ye ma oni mampani afa napko fo sika di kwala ye adwuma mo ko ye atuma hwe nyame anum afa mo sika dia so ye ma oni mampani ebio o hwe omukọ campaign ne de omo ye still na no utimu se fairness eni ho contest na ekono I mean otie nsem abronya keka chama wontume mu keka ene tennie a party anka wakọ abato mu a ya olusu from say ka obetra se ahwe de ntie ma olusu ye no ene da bi onim de omo ka de ba ko mo ye dangerous ne se omo gidie ni se nkofo bi anto aba na sa nkofo no ye omo nkofo ndi omo na anto aba ma omo lusu enti no sa nkofo no to aba autism bi ni ko no on be san win elections and they are not the false hope omo de amomo and omo ya na nsen omo call round so na Dr. Bawumia mo say emfa and therefore wa sha se pacho obi a so ne bone o pacho say and quality content in because also pagana for chewa de wo ye a opa ho che no kana gana fo
and ya asam
because ne ye kan o be ka sente sa ndi den na opa ho che magana fo hu de wo ye a opa ho che na so mo hwe no mo de be chewa o mo de a che bio hwe you United Party aba yes am gidi say obi a oya manyoni bia no ade ba kwa wo so hwe ne se da bia opese ho bamfa so relevance in politics and ɛno ne movement for change bae yɛhwɛ wɔn ana montuo ne ade nyina na wɔn botaeɛ ne sɛ aban no MPP be fra ban and they have achieved it. As to wɔn contribution there nkunimdie na aba wie untimi mfa sika sɛ wotwitwa sɛ we de ni we de but wɔn nsa aka wie now ɛkwan na bie wɔn asesa ba bi adu wɔn pɛ sɛ wɔn gyina yie ntoma yɛ no party ankasa a wɔn akɔ into history because MPP ya wɔn trace wɔn ayi from United Party UP no maybe atwa wɔn bae nti wɔn akɔfa di ne de aba nti sɛ wɔn timi ɛsiesie wɔn ho yie na wɔn timi ɛka wɔn nsɛm yie a they are going to break the MPP. And where you bedroom maybe no MPP. A better to say omo parties near a chum. Progress Party money and they buy a guno. It can be a bit my history. I reckon a party be buy an MPP.
When him say MPP they go PM or court say omo makwai masai UP.
Oh, omo yanko court. Sir. Me te so omo so mbeko ba me nyanti.
Omo so mbeko ba omo nam kwa mu.
Omo ko eden.
Anti omo hu ne say UP no.
Aha eden.
Omo tradition na.
Na constitution no have right to form political party grounds so I did disqualify no you say shouldn't be tribal shouldn't I mean ewo ho e ka ho say untimi mfa party bi atwam din so omo ye kura ma afi popularity na ba so I say abra Alan yes say wotu anamo na ho behia say nka party no ebe hwe no siesie but I mean no more power mo free say Bibia was rosy. Auntie, or no so quite an ampany about Guinea grounds. And we went call for a show up with you woman somewhere. Cannot cram be pina conobio. And be pina conobio. Take a cram mechanic say, okay. They say, Diana, see a dear wono, the command trans and tonko. And this year, our bam, you're hearing to train no more. Party no, no matter what, you need to build a party.
Correct.
And until young say, Sabsabi, or more buy no more year, we began a force idea yampe. Yes, a chinchina, you to me, ya baye. 11 they buy a CMP, no marco your party, no my cake, 11. The best say a mat at ye ma refrain home, a beam party.
May I say, Yambre, let's go, young one or so to Fana.
Me time ni bi beka MPP ne AUP but me de kese kakra beka asem ye dama kuma so pa na
akuma so ade
me ka eno answer na me de party de ne
okay AUP de names a lot
on say Charles Kojo Fosu ye
Ndadelumba
me late friend and Oyubi ana me don pa say many know bad history. No, very good history.
Fox FM days, na monena.
I mean, we have related well.
Yes.
But I am a ya, and you may be I am a ya. Oh yes, I am a ya say. Baby, we are see a dreya and can enquire a day. Na sebi ene Ghana fu nyina yesebo fu atu oyanyumtumia sebi so ye oboni mpo na wo kofia na nyuma na asade be chichire ore I have an example of one meneno eye nyoma bia me pese sebi wawuyi me de betu badwam na so no after say asemi siwie ya me kofie no na nyuma na me sade chichire me ore even though na me bu afu empenifo se sebi abusua do funu na se nyemu bawu ya enkamente sa asem no ase kamen sa abe no kabe me den se magia tu se eyampa se abusua do funu na mahwede yakoso ni nyina na akwete se omai ase yempani asa kakra eno na etete me se enti the right to be called or to be titled a widow. Entino, and who are basse yentwe rumba homanson. Obi a won tiase no. O tiase no obi a ntwe manso se mikunu no. Me hu so obi twe manso da se mikunu no tiase. Me hu so obi ka se me busua pani ne me. Mumia neme. Otiasia no. I feel who you know. And not yet chinny home. Unto chinny home manson. Ama Sebi. Lawyer chese or Timmy baby. Kusi. Chese titi ni semwa. Ono that should be an answer beba. With nothing beba but 2 bedroom. I will be home. What I say. Now, and ya fe say okunyini ti se mumba. Abusua be gune hu animu ase gune hu fi obedwam sa enye fe kra. Etime sra abusua. Na ma sra bi hye. Sabi obebuoni o. Ma me sra wa o. Etu ko twiri ba bi atwire. Etu nya den enko twiri ba bi atwire. So wo ka dini ni elubo mu a sewa ene obebuoni no ebe sewa buoni. Mun ka mo humum. Mun ka mo humum. Eregi bell papa. Oti ase mun ka mo humum ebe sremo. Na monyi court nsem ni fi ho edu say ya na amama who say the bia who say metaka say one of the most useless institutions in this country is the Peace Council. Yakoto about the Peace Council. A legend like that Lumbewu Abusia Chimansu Guni who fi wo bedwam and it's the flag of Ghana and the from you because Lumba lifted the flag of Ghana so high. It's mesre and then iswa mesre because they koi they me de ba shata de no so they koi shata yen temansu bia da obi a me drabe dwam kase mi kunu no me de ne kokot opa ne manu sisumina so I'm one of the greatest fans of Shatta.
Last week we promoted
what do I say? Niko kuma sintina mentimi atene me kabo anka be ni Shatta atare aka be ko
nipa e ba ye
etimede tutu se obi bia o wiasin bia be me bia ho hene oba bia so ho hene asin so husrefo na srekere no so oye oyire dada so oye yire muno so oye denyo enkwala wom Rollins Emra abeye adwuma interstate succession law lawyer na tie PNDC law 111 Abusia enti Japade kura ye pri owiase kwa de ko hen se me na me kunu no enya we da won obetwe mpena se ye mpena se ye kunu Abusia mun kamuhumum na mo ma etuo nkotwe ba bi akire na nanom ahemfo mun transam so Peace Council mun konkon hwehwe asem na mun pa asem na mun asudwe ni ensie no asudwe mu na omu wa tire so mun fa mun ye fa ntua wofo
Yembre the cook.
Some
3 seconds about Saturday security. Look, credit to
Shatta. Look, oh no, let me tell you. Let me tell you one thing.
Say national security threat.
Shatta is a living soul forever. And yet 1 minute in a discussion Shatta. But in brief, no, me bo Shatta Abaso. Oh, it was fantastic. I don't know. The beer course so piano. Never say see the sea. So for a year, and every next time cut off for.
A very important issue I was here discussing here. I mean, national security, and Bibisa, and I was here, many anything.
They should not underestimate it.
Make on of it, MC Paul. And many about Cosilasa Bugi or
Mamenda, a lawyer, Stephen Kingsley Benny, I say, or a deputy MD, the Ma a Ghana Post, also na a list or Nana, a Kusipoku, and also a executive director, the Magag. A Kukuda Mianin and there, Minomudi Juma, or a Inside Politics Tuesday's edition, Jumedian. So, Idiami this year, Nicholas Yausu, you also with me from Nicholas, Mamus on Hinababo, Benny, on a year, Pomache Cheku, the newspaper in a can. Stay tuned because it's Power 97.9 FM, Nashua TV XYZ. Have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.